Hey everyone, I am Chris Gore. This is the Film Threat Holiday Special. Alan is, he may not be here today. I don't know, something's going on. My apologies in advance. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay in spite of everything. I had a big show planned today with a lot of guests, but the way it's looking, I don't know, it's all kind of falling apart, but we're going to have fun hanging out. We'll see how things go. I don't know. I saw Puss in Boots. So we'll definitely be talking about Puss in Boots. I hope you're having a good holiday in spite of everything. I don't know. Things are not great at the moment. I don't know what to say, but I've got some eggnog. So I'm gonna try this eggnog right now before we get the show started. So here we go. I'm gonna fill it up in a big Film Threat. Can I drink all this eggnog? Look at this. I don't know. Am I gonna be able to drink this? Let me try. Oh, that's horrible. Oh God. Okay, so Alan's not here. The eggnog's terrible. I don't know. I kind of think we're like, this may be the worst holiday special ever, but let's kick it off and get it started. Let's go.
Michael.
Hey everyone, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's going to be maybe a very different show than we had originally planned. I was hoping Alan had seen Puss in Boots and that we would be talking about Puss in Boots today, but I don't know what's going on. I mean, we'll see, but I don't know. Oh, wait, someone at the door. Wait, hey, it's Alan.
Oh, hey,
what are you doing, man? What's going on?
See Puss in Boots, and for it's been a long time since I've been able to do this, but all my Christmas shopping is done. So
all your Christmas shopping is done.
So I can actually relax for the next 2 days.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I didn't think you were going to be here, so I poured myself some eggnog. I have a giant glass. It's very thick. I thought this would be refreshing. It's not. But Alan, first of all, why were you late? And are you okay? Is everything all right?
Yeah. I mean, I saw Puss in Boots and I got my shopping done, and
okay.
We were just gonna relax this weekend. It's got family things to attend to. So yeah, this may actually be a great post-COVID Christmas.
Well, Alan, look, I know you're sad. I know your life is in the toilet. And I'm just, I'm going to use this show to try to cheer you up.
Did you send me a script or something? I thought we were just...
No, I didn't. I didn't send you anything.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Don't even look at anything.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right.
I'm saying is, look, Alan, just because you're down in the dumps and you're sad over the holiday doesn't mean that we can't use the show as a way to cheer you up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. Let's look at the chat. Let's look at the chat and see who's here. Here's some starred comments. Goober says, does anyone have a favorite film this year that isn't RRR Top Gun? Yeah, I'd say Avatar: The Way of Water. One of my favorites of the year. There you go. Go ahead. Come at me, bro.
Yeah. I would say Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's still my favorite.
Solomon Thornton says, I'm dreaming of a Film Threat Christmas. Feliz Navidad, FT, and chat says John Manilang. Solomon Thornton says, Happy Festivus to you as well. Andrew Montpetit says, I can't wait for special guest Cocaine Bear. How did you know? Shelby AC says, hey, everybody. Merry Christmas. Thumper JDM, who's a member, says Disney promised Alan 70 grand. They only gave me wait, what did they give him?
Oh, they gave me 69. 69.
Exactly. They gave him
69.
All right, there you go. I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Goes on to say, Alan's late, still waiting for his monthly Disney suitcase dollars to arrive. Brock Samsonite, jingle plungers to all. David Glenn, well, at least we are not waiting on Gary Nerdrotic. I love Gary. I love Gary. He's on Gary time. Toxic Waltz, and Chris is finishing putting together a freaking IKEA chair while finishing up a cup of coffee and a piece of frozen pizza. I am pre-coffee. I will say this. I am pre-coffee. And David Glenn says, Alan can't find his sweater and house shoes for his Alan's Corner segment. Yes. Let's take a look at Alan's Corner. I love this video. Did you notice the plungers in the background?
Yes, I did.
There's like secret plungers. Hey, we have some super chats here. Let's go to those. Grumpy Cine Geek for 5 says, thanks for recommending Some Like It Rare. Hilarious. Belgium is a dark comedy mecca. Man bites dog. Merry Christmas, Chris and Alan. Well, thank you for that, Grumpy Cine Geek. Appreciate it. I think that'll help cheer Alan up.
Yeah, is that playing on anything?
No, I reviewed it. You didn't see that one.
I know, but I still need to see it.
Luther Talbert for 5 says, Christmas will always be as long as we stand heart to heart and hand to hand. Dr. Seuss, same goes for Film Threat. It will be a great show. And Flaccid Phoenix asks, what did Alan ask Santa for Christmas?
Oh, for peace on earth and goodwill to men.
Men. You're not gonna get it. Merry Christmas in jail. I'm quoting Mr. Potter. Colt Seaman for $19.99 says, and thank you for that. Colt Seaman's a member. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Chris. And remember, wait, what am I supposed to remember?
69.
Exactly. 69.
Michael.
All right. Let's get here with the comments. Thank you, Colt. Let's see. Dark Sith 87 says, awesome intro. Even gave an atheist some Christmas spirit.
Oh,
so good, Glanuccio, says Goober. Glanuccio knocked it out of the park with that intro. Love it. Christmas is saved by Alan. Alan's here, a Christmas miracle. And Spidey Sensei 72 says, that Yule Log Fireplace movie is my new favorite Christmas film. And Albert Nada Retro for 5 says, unless there is a category for best mockery of a man being sexually assaulted, I can't see Love and Thunder getting anything. I heard it was disgusting. Yeah, it's not going to get any awards, I can tell you that. And Brock Samsonite goes on to say, all Alan wants for Christmas is for you to hit that like button. I love it. Well, let's we're going to do a quick reset here, and we're going to show a video. I have a video. Wait, I got to hide that last comment. Wait, comments, hide comment. I got to hide. There we go. Let's see. I've got a video I want to show just because, Avatar has been big, but it's also controversial. 3D movies can cost a little bit more money. So why don't we take a look at this quick PSA and see maybe if this problem can't be solved.
Hello, I'm Chris Gore. As a lifelong moviegoer and film geek, I want to talk to you about something that's important to everyone who holds the cinematic experience so precious. Kids everywhere are totally missing out, but now you can help. For your contribution of just $25, one child will be able to see one 3D movie. Won't you give? Life isn't 3D. Shouldn't children be able to see movies in 3D? But 3D movies are expensive. I mean, I'm on TV or cable TV, and it's expensive even for me. I can't imagine what it's like for kids who have no jobs. Children come into this world with 2 eyes. 2 eyes meant to see movies in 3D, not 2D. Please contribute. Go to 3dfor2eyedkids.com. Your contribution of $25 will help a child see a 3D movie. and thanks for listening.
Okay, I made that video when the first Avatar came out. And so I brought it back. And thanks to Glanuccio's deft editing, we're able to show it. So I love it.
Hey, someone's at the door.
Someone's at the door. Live streams don't have doors, Alan. Streams don't have doors. Who could it be? Who could be there? Hey, Dante, what's going on?
Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Oh, no.
Stop ringing the doorbell, Dante.
Dude, what's happening?
This ain't me. I'm doing well. Almost overslept, so that's why I look like I just woke up.
Well, I always sort of just wake up for our Friday shows. Hey, did you get to see Avatar? We haven't really talked about it.
You know what? I have not yet. I'm still on the fence, man, because like I said, I didn't care for the first one. So I'm very much on the fence about seeing a sequel to a movie I didn't care about the first time.
Right. Well, let's I'm glad you got here. Alan and I are just about to review Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Oh, just in time.
Just in time for Puss in Boots. And you can decide whether that's a movie that you're going to want to see this holiday season. Well, I mean, we'll find out. Let's see. I'm going to put Alan front and center here, and he's going to tell us all about the story of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Because when I looked up Puss in Boots, there's a Puss in Boots movie that was made a while ago, and it got
which I might have seen, but I cannot remember a thing about it.
All right, tell us about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Yeah, so essentially, we have Puss in Boots, Antonio Banderas. He is living his life to the fullest, and what we find out is that at the beginning of the movie, he is killed. But because cats have 9 lives, he comes back. But we find out that he has just spent his 8th life. And so he has 1 life left, and everyone's telling him he needs to take it careful. Be careful, don't waste that life. And one of the big bad guys, played by John Mulaney, Little Jack Horner, he is in pursuit of the wishing star, a star that will fulfill your wishes. And of course, Puss in Boots' wish is to get his 9 lives back. And so he pursues the star with a little puppy dog who's disguised as a cat. Long story there. And along the way, he meets people who want to get that wishing star as well. Some allies, some not. And he is also being chased by a Lobo, which I think is Gerard Butler. I didn't look it up, but it sure sounded like him. And who wants to ultimately kill him. So that's our little adventure there, the pursuit of the last wish.
Well, it's going to be a very quick review for me. It was fine. Yeah. It was fine. It's not the greatest in the animated movie. I thought Puss in Boots was a great side character in the Shrek films, but it was okay. It was okay. I actually do like the animation style. I know we were.
I did, yeah.
You did.
I was expecting Shrek animation, and we got. I guess you mentioned it, Spider-Verse animation.
I'll tell you what it is they just use fewer frames. So it's like, full animated would be 24 individual animated frames. But most, what they'll do is they'll do sort of 12 frames per 24 frames. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's inconsistent. That's my problem.
And it sort of makes it jittery. I don't mind it. I actually like it. It works in Spider-Verse. It was fine here. And the Jack Horner character I thought was funny. The other thing that was good was the Goldilocks and the 3 Bears was fun. That was actually, that turned out very bizarre and fun. Because Shrek is always like a twist on fairy tales. And I like that aspect of it. So look, it's fun. Do you need to rush to the theater to see it? Sure. If you haven't already seen Avatar, maybe that's the one other movie you might go see. I did see Babylon again. And I liked it better the second time. I'm serious. I saw it packed crowd at 3 p.m.
You went from Puss in Boots to Babylon.
I know.
Puss in Boots. There's a song in there about pussy.
You went from a kid's movie.
Which movie had the song about pussy?
To a movie
Babylon.
with 2 full-on orgy scenes in it.
Right. No, it's intense. I liked it much better the second time. Still, the weakest part of that movie is the ending. The ending starts out so great for Babylon and then kind of blows it with this weird.
No pun intended, right?
Right. Well, yes, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that. But like, you know, it kind of blows it with that ending montage that goes. They show scenes from Avatar in Babylon, like bringing you from, you know, freaking Salvador Dali, you know, and sort of early film to like present day, and it just doesn't. And then it goes into this weird sort of bleeding thing of like paint, like sort of drawing the analogy that, you know, film is art, like painting is art. I thought it was.
Yeah,
Wait,
I don't know. To me,
and-
it's just a laborious movie to get through. There are 3 great moments that I really enjoyed in that movie, but getting between those moments just kind of, it was just laborious. And then Puss in Boots, you know, I kind of want something. It's what I dislike about children's animated movies. It's just all action. There's fun in it, but you know, you kind of want something a little bit deeper there. And so I'm very mediocre on Puss in Boots.
Okay, well, Puss in Boots, mild recommendation for me. You can probably wait for streaming and be perfectly fine.
Well,
but if you need a movie to go see over the holidays with your kids, this one is fine. There's nothing overt like with the Disney movies. Disney movies now need to come with warnings.
Yeah.
You know, that there's a warning that like there's going to be agenda in there. So there's nothing like that in this Puss in Boots.
It's not woke.
It's completely
But
inoffensive.
it's also not Disney, right?
It's not Disney. No.
DreamWorks.
Right, it's
Yeah,
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Which,
So-
by the way, I'm surprised it's still in business. I had no idea DreamWorks is even still around right now.
Right. Well, it is. It is. But anyways, don't take your kids to Babylon. But Puss in Boots. There's our Puss in Boots review. Let's do it.
I don't know, man. If you could take
I
your
know you
kids,
slipped
you can take your
Babylon
kids to
into a
track
Puss in
shows
Boots
now.
movie.
It's like, why can't you take them to Babylon, right?
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Okay, you know
exactly.
what?
Yeah, because you can show kids where they came from by showing them Babylon.
I promise I won't be controversial today. I promise.
Yeah, there you go.
I will be a good boy today.
Wait a second. Wait a sec. Alan, do you hear something?
Yeah, there's someone at the door.
There's someone at the door. Who could it be? Hey, script doctor.
Hey,
How's it
Stop
going?
okay now.
sorry. Once you stop, you just can't. You just can't stop.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I'm just here to help spread some Christmas cheer on what some people call Christmas Adam today, because tomorrow's Christmas Eve.
Nice.
Oh, we're getting a little
Echo.
little echo there.
Little echo from me, huh? Okay, let's.
Yeah,
Turn
might
some
be
things
an
down.
echo from that. But anyways, I want to talk about.
Well, I think it's from Dante, actually.
Oh, is it from Dante?
Wait, is it for me?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, let's see. Do you hear it now?
Yeah.
No, I don't hear it now. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Dante.
I think it's Dante, yeah.
Are you
Hey,
sure?
Dante, leave and come
Yeah,
back.
we're muting your mic and it goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, just leave and come back. Well,
Okay.
that usually fixes it. Cool. But I want to talk about something, the top takeaways of 2022. 2022 was an interesting year, a year of change. And I think that what I want to hear from everybody is kind of what your top takeaway for the year is for 2022. What did we learn? You could talk about anything. You talk about Disney Plus series. You can talk about Star Wars, Marvel films. You could just talk about anything related to the industry. What is your top takeaway? And who wants to go first? Because I have a takeaway for sure.
I have a number of takeaways. I'm just got to ponder for a moment which one would be most entertaining and not too personal.
Well, you could. My big takeaway is Hollywood has the data. Hollywood is about to go through. A friend of mine said that it's going to be like the French Revolution. It's going to be crazy the next 6 months, because you're looking at writer's strike. You're looking at people are just buying up scripts left and right just to have something to be able to get into production. You're also looking at things coming to the realization that things are not making money. Things are not making money. And that is revealed quite easily when you look at the box office for the year. For the movies that underperformed, the thing most of them had in common was putting agenda before storytelling. And the movies that didn't do that, your Top Gun Mavericks, and your Avatar: The Way of Water performed, or at least were more beloved by audiences. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
They were more beloved by audiences. And what I think it's really up to Hollywood. Do you want to look at this data and come to a conclusion about going forward? Or are you going to, ignore this data and then, just continue on the pathway to more shows being shut down, audiences being dissatisfied? That's my top takeaway is Hollywood, you have the data now to make the decisions. You don't have to be influenced by underlings trying to push some activism into your film. You can move forward, say, look, this is what the data is. This is what the audience is telling us. They vote by spending money, and they're not spending money on certain movies. They're spending money on other movies. We now have this information. That's my big takeaway of 2022 is use this data toward some goal, or at least being profitable, because Hollywood was traditionally one of the biggest exports of the United States to other countries. And now they don't want our movies. So literally half, it's, from the before times, Hollywood is making half of what it used to. That's a huge drop. And that's going to mean a lot of layoffs and a lot of pain over the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah,
And,
I'm like, wait, you're expecting Hollywood to learn their lesson?
Yeah, no, I'm not. And just for everybody, same question. What's your top takeaway?
Yeah, I'll go. My top takeaway this year is Hollywood forgot how to write good stories, or how to tell good stories. For some reason, and it really feels this way, but there's this feeling that, the past, the great classics of the past, no longer apply today. And that for some reason, some enlightened person or some enlightened group of people feel like, no, that's the old way was misogynist, was racist, was every ist you can imagine. And so we are going to usher in a new style of storytelling. And what you find is it's bland. It has there's no juice behind it, and it doesn't connect with us in the way of this idea that we are all people on this journey. We have struggles in life. We have things that we're trying to overcome. But if we just, follow, if we just kind of bend the knee and follow the mind think that the world's bringing us, that these are the stories we want. And so, I just feel like, I don't know what this generation of script writers, of filmmakers, of actors, why they're so afraid of telling stories, structuring it like the stories of the past, trying to connect with people and trying to give a little bit of hope once in a while. So, and I'm not sure that 2023 is going to be any better.
Script, I'm sure you've got some thoughts on this, especially on this topic.
Oh, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, there are tons of great scripts floating around in Hollywood. They're just not a lot of people that want to buy those great scripts because they don't fit the agenda, and two, they're getting the financing based on the agenda. And that's kind of the big crux of it. We don't have as many big time producers that are buying and pushing the scripts that are traditional, and not necessarily traditional with regards to like general values or derivative nature, but like, a reliable, strong format that does good service, that makes people want to leave the theaters happy. I've mentioned this on other streams before, but I think the 2020s are a direct parallel to the film market of the 1970s. We had a lot of big budget films. Studios were struggling. They were getting bought out by other companies. They weren't making great movies. We had a lot of dark themed films, depressing themed films. And that kind of, we got our first hint of a great movie in the 70s with The Godfather in 72. And then it slowly built up from there. And I think we kind of have the same parallel here with Paramount again with Top Gun Maverick.
Is someone calling you, Chris?
I think someone's at the door. Who could it be? Hey, it's Hannah, that Star Wars girl. What are you doing?
Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, what's happening?
I'm dying of the plague. How are you?
Are you sick?
Yeah, I got tonsillitis.
Yikes.
Oh.
Wow.
I know, totally. That was a very Christmassy topic. By the way, I hate The Godfather. I think that movie is terrible, and if I could Thanos snap it out of existence, I would.
It was
You just
great
don't like-
having Anna on the show for a
I know.
minute.
He just doesn't like
I'm
mob
kidding. No, you're welcome to like or dislike.
I don't like gangster movies, so that's why.
All right, well,
Not
that's
my
okay.
genre.
Well,
That's
I
fair.
appreciate you joining us. Let's go. Basically what we're talking about is what are the takeaways at the end of the year as we look back on the year. What have we learned? So here we go. Let's go through some chat questions and comments here. Dante Thumper JDM says Dante looks like he's going to offer us a red pill or a blue pill. The Alex Orba says Christmas is saved by Dante. Solomon Thornton says Dante woke up like this. Cole Seaman for 1999 says I'm only giving this much to the children. Enjoy 2D movies, you cheapskates, and check out Verbal Riot. Thumper JDM
Thanks
says
very much.
if you look up the word cool in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Dante.
Jesus Christ.
And maybe Anna too. And Anna as well. Toxic Waltz N8 says piping hot Puss. I hear this is good, but that they only spent 90 million on it. Talking about Babylon. Andrew Montpetit says, geez, that shift in tone should come with a whiplash warning. Puss and Booty says Brock Samsonite. And Imperfect says, top takeaway, Hollywood has no reverse gear. That's true. I think it's absolutely true. Solomon Thornton, in 2022, I learned that Marvel has become the villain instead of dying as a hero. John Long Lastmain says, the writers have already been on strike because of the writers now could strike for the rest of eternity and the world would be better for it. Is that true? The strike already happened? I keep hearing rumors of the strike. Script, you would know.
I used to be able to know. I haven't been part of the union for over 2 years now because I didn't make my points during the pandemic. But I did hear all the rumblings that new negotiations are occurring, not just with writers, but with directors as well. There might also be a director's strike on the horizon.
That's great. Hollywood could use a pause. Toxic Waltz N8. The negative side to Top Gun being a hit, though, is that they're going to dig deep into the sequel many laters pile. I don't think so. I think the lesson of Top Gun Maverick is just make a popcorn blockbuster movie that appeals to a lot of people, and then people will want to see it and see it a lot. I believe it's already 1.5 billion right now.
Wow.
1.5 billion. So there you go.
It's more than Avatar.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Avatar's at 600 billion or 600 million.
600 million. Alan, are you still sad? Is any of this cheering you up?
Not sad at all.
Okay. I'm checking in on Alan. He was
All
late
right.
to the show, and then he told me his life is in the toilet, and life is terrible. And I'm using this show to cheer Alan up.
Thanks, Chris.
Toxic Waltz, and it's called soft power projection. Very important on the global stage. They need to get that back. Goober says, biggest takeaway, we learned the difference between film and content. Oh, yeah. And Anna is welcome to her opinion, even if it's wrong, says Brock Samsonite.
And I think we all agree it's wrong.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. What are like, Anna, what are your thoughts on like the year and like, what have we learned? You know, oh, you're muted, Anna.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't think anyone learned anything. I think it's just more pushing content because there still isn't really anything that's that good. Like everyone praises Top Gun Maverick, but I mean, it was very, very safe. Like they didn't even say what the country was that, they were going to, the bad guys. They never wanted the name of the country. I think that was extremely safe. And it was very predictable. I mean, I did enjoy it, but I think we're not getting anything like we used to. Like nobody's taking any risks.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, I think Cameron's taking something of a risk. I'm going to make 4 more Avatar movies. We'll see if it's successful or not. And
I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen.
now
He might get 1 more movie. He's not getting 4 more movies out of this.
But I mean, the 3rd one's already shot, and then they've already shot the first act of the 4th Avatar.
Yeah.
So I think they're already going down that road.
This is a big gamble for whoever the studio is.
You know what? I'm well, I don't know. I was going to say I'm looking forward to Sundance, and then I saw some of their lineup. It's not great. We'll probably talk about it. Next week.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Really quick though, if I were to just chime in on the biggest takeaway from this year,
please.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this year Hollywood realized they bet on the wrong horse. I think they're starting to finally realize that listening to Twitter isn't going to help them. It's not going to help their bottom line. It's not going to help put asses in seats. They bet on the wrong horse, and I think this year they finally realized it. I think next year we're going to see a different crop of movies. Who knows? I mean, I don't know who's in charge of these studios. I don't know how, quote unquote woke they are, but I think we're going to see a different shift in movies next year.
Oh wait, someone's at the door.
Aggressively hitting the door.
Wait, is this bit even working? Like, hey, someone's at the door. Hey, someone's at the door, people. Live streams don't have doors. Hey, there's two people at the door. Look at these two that showed up.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, right?
Oh dear God.
Ryan Kinel, hey. Reina Creole. Hey.
Hello.
Morning, folks.
What's going on, everybody? It's afternoon for me, which means I'm actually allowed to drink beer, so we're all good. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. I'm drinking a little eggnog, a little eggnog in a Film Threat pint glass, and it's disgusting. Oh wait, we were just talking about what are the top takeaways of this year. Like, what have we learned, or what has Hollywood learned? Like, and is all this nonsense going to continue that we keep pointing out?
Well, I think what Hollywood should have learned versus what they did are two different stories. I think what they should have learned is that audiences are ready to go back to very traditional storytelling, basic storytelling about masculine men, feminine women, families, traditional values. What they probably ended up learning was, well, maybe we just didn't go gay enough. That might be what they learned. So.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what Disney learned. What are your thoughts, Lorena?
I believe Hollywood still has a lot to learn. And one of the reasons I bring that up is a movie that did not get nominated for an Oscar, and it should have, and that is RRR.
Yeah, it's not even not on the short list even.
Not even on the short list. Local film festivals and critics have given it awards, but Hollywood is just like, nah, sorry, nah. I don't
this movie. What is it?
I don't hear you. Oh, wait. RRR. You haven't heard about RRR?
And
how did you get without him mentioning it?
Yeah. I've hung out with Chris so many times this year, and he's never mentioned this movie, so it's his fault.
It's my fault.
Shame on you, Chris. Shame on you.
Well, Lorena, and your channel has blown up from all the coverage of Indian movies. You really leaned into that.
Yes.
And there's so much good stuff. I can't believe you haven't heard of RRR. It's on Netflix. Just look up RRR. It's
what kind of movie is it?
I gotta watch it. It's an Indian movie. It's an action movie.
Is it Bollywood?
No.
Not
No. This is the common mistake that people make, and I had to learn about this. The Indian movie industry has several different layers. The most common is Bollywood, which I have zero interest whatsoever. I don't think it's realistic. Then you have Tollywood, which is what RRR is. Crazy action, amazing stories. With RRR, it is the most masculine story that you will see about family, about brotherhood, about community, about nationality, about revolution. Men are men, women are women. It's the kind of movie that Hollywood used to give us, I would say, circa 1960s to 1980s. And if you watch this film, you will see callbacks to so many famous filmmakers like Scorsese, Spielberg, so many of them that you'll see. And SS Rajamouli deserves all the props he can get. Not only do you have Tollywood, but you also have Canada Films, which is like the examples of the KGF 1 and 2. That is literally Scarface in India. I kid you not. I freaking kid you not. Is
this in English?
Amazing.
No, it's in
the local languages, but there are English subtitles.
Someone's at the door. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep
Banging
this as
pretty
it
aggressively, actually.
Someone's at the door. Live streams don't even have doors. Who could it be?
Stop knocking.
Ass. Hey, how's it going, man?
He's muted.
He's muted.
Muted, dude.
He might just be hanging out. He'll be back. I know he will. Will.
One theme in RR you didn't mention kind of is patriotism. It's love for one's country.
You can't have that here.
Yeah, I did.
You can't have that in America.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, nationalism.
Okay, yeah.
Bad in
It's
America.
been nominated. I'm on its Wikipedia, and it's like all of the awards. Like you just scroll and scroll for an entire page.
Well, there's a lot, but not the Oscars. It has
Nobody
not been
cares about the
shortlisted.
Oscars anymore.
No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares, especially with Jimmy Kimmel.
I don't know if I'd say that no one cares. However, considering how much of an echo chamber the Oscars is, the fact that it got snubbed is an issue. Because remember, movies like Do the Right Thing got snubbed by the Oscars.
Right.
What's that?
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Oh, I don't like his movies. I know.
Oh well, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. However,
He also doesn't like The Godfather, so
Yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. I don't like Avatar, and I'll stick by that. Actually, no, RRR is available with an English dub on Netflix now. Although I highly suggest watching it in the original Telugu and reading the English subtitles. It's great.
You'd think that they would that Hollywood would have been all about it because a lot of the white people got attacked in that movie. They got killed.
Yeah.
You'd think that Hollywood would be cool with that, but for some reason, no.
Nah, they didn't like it. Too many brown people not being victims. That's the other thing. You have what's going on. With Hollywood.
Now I guarantee you, if RR was a slave movie, it would have.
Oh, they'd be all freaking all over that.
Everything, right?
Unless Will Smith was starring in it, then it wouldn't. But,
right.
Hard pass on that.
We have amendment as well. The end. It was give everybody a gun.
Wait. I think there's someone else at the door, but you know what I think? I also think I screwed up and I invited too many people. Here we go. Hey, Paulie, what's going on?
Paulie.
What's happening? Merry Christmas, everybody.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas,
Hey,
man.
good morning.
Navidad.
Well, I have
Anna.
a special guest that's going to be joining us in 9 minutes at the top of the hour. This is why I wanted everybody here, because this person is going to be doing a presentation, a deck for a movie pitch. And I want I can't wait for you all to see it. Should I give you a little preview of what we're about to see? This is a serious pitch for a film. And we're all going to react to it live when the person who put this together is here in 8 minutes. And welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing great. Thank you. I don't even know what time it is for you. It's what? It's late.
6 p.m. nearly.
There you go. We're going to react to this. It's a gender and race swapped version of Back to the Future called Black in Time.
Wow.
Oh Lord.
So if I recall, Chris, I believe you brought that up in one of your Film Courage videos. You're like, what would happen if they decided to do Back to the Future now and it wouldn't work because they would gender swap it?
Well, guess what? You're about to hear. I have the pitch deck for this movie. This is real. Mm-hmm. I have the person with the pitch coming on to pitch it to us, and feel free to comment and whatever you think about this, whatever you think. I have seen it, and I've seen the pitch. Mm-hmm. It needs to be seen to be believed. That's all I want to say. I can't wait for you all to hear it in about 5 minutes. Although I'm gonna have to kick somebody out, unfortunately.
Glenn might have to drop out actually, or
no. Glenn doesn't have to. Someone that's actually on camera.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to kick you out, Script, but I want to bring you back on to get your comment. But please listen in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we're gonna hear.
That's what you get 10 in the room. Get 10 in the room.
Oh, I can get 10. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, that's the thing.
I miscounted. Sorry, Script.
But still kick Script out.
I'm still gonna kick out Script. Oh my god.
Yeah, just get rid of the one guy that's
I'm saying we already had 10 in here already.
Oh my god. Okay. So that's what we're gonna see in a few minutes.
I can't wait to get to the part where the race swapped Marty has her dad hitting on her. That's really my favorite part that we get to.
It's not what you think. It's definitely not what you think. All I want to say is, like, when Mystery Chris is going to be joining us in just a few minutes, and he's going to be giving us his serious pitch for this. And when you hear it, I think it's all I'll say is it's incredibly creative.
Okay.
The scary part about all of this is this could actually happen. Hollywood could see this and say, you know what? Let's do this. Well, I'm almost expecting it to happen.
I will say, I don't want to, ruin too much, but it's serious, but you could see Hollywood. It's serious, but so over the top and ridiculous. You almost like can't take it serious. But at the same time, you're like, wait a second, this sounds too real. Like, this is how Hollywood would do it. That's like how. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts. We'll go through the pitch deck and get everybody's.
Well, Chris, here's my barometer. Is it funnier than White Chicks? Because that is my favorite waist drop movie ever.
I don't know if it's you'll be the judge.
Okay.
You'll be the judge.
Okay, that's my barometer. Just putting that out there before we get started.
Yeah. So we're talking about top ways of 2022. If anyone has some, now that we've sort of looked at the year in entertainment,
and
it's not been good. It's not been good.
Yeah, I had a couple things to say.
Yeah, please.
Hollywood is still racist and ignorant. Fuck them.
Well, he's not wrong.
I'm sorry, it's a Christmas party.
Sorry, too late now, dude. Too late.
I think the way that they go about things just seems really stupid. Like,
well, for me, Chris, I finally realized and come to the conclusion that race swapping, just whatever you want to call it, it's not, it's not even ethnic. It just doesn't work. It's just a bad idea. There's plenty of stories that exist, and we already talked about this. There's plenty of stories that already exist. They're written there. Then there's original stories that scripts that are already out there, like Script Doctor says. Creativity is everywhere. It's just that the people, that greenlight shit, they're very uncreative. And then when there is an interesting idea, it completely comes off as a throwback to 50 years ago of how certain people are portrayed. And then you screw with something like a Namor, like the Submariner, which is such an amazing comic book character that it's a complete catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. That was a catastrophe, man.
But Wakanda's ass smells so much better than everyone else's.
His what? His ass?
Air.
His
air.
The air is so much cleaner here. And he's just like,
Well, no,
don't you spend most of your time underwater? So,
how did you cross the river?
I know.
Oh,
that was my favorite line.
This dumb bit. I am committed to the stupidest bit. Who's at the door? Who's at the door? This is what they do in every holiday.
You're already pot committed, man.
It's Mystery Chris. What are you doing, man?
Hey, hello. How are you?
Doing great. Mystery
Hello.
Chris does a show with Carrie Smith. He's put together amazing content. He does a pop culture show. Well, tell us about yourself. Not everybody, and maybe our audience, isn't familiar with your work.
First of all, I'm black. So to get that out the way.
No.
I know.
Well, I'm out of here, so goodbye.
But I co-host a program on Carrie Smith's channel, the program with Carrie Smith, every Wednesday night called Pop Culture. And we just talk about different things from pop culture's past and the present. And I had an idea of making a woke presentation of Back to the Future movie. So I'm excited to be pitching this, and I hope this gets picked up as a movie and I get rich. So,
well, let's launch right into it, Chris. I'm gonna put you up here, right there. We go. And why don't you? And I'll tell me when to go to the next slide. But why don't you give us your pitch for Back to the Future, Black in Time?
all right. So this is a sequel to Back to the Future trilogy. And next slide, please. This stars Zendaya as the granddaughter of Goldie Wilson. So she is the Marty McFly character, this one. Her father, Goldie Wilson II, ran for governor against, and the next slide, please, Biffton Tannen, who is the son of Biff. He is a racist. And Macy Wilson believes that he stole the election by having a bunch of fake voters vote. And so as she starts to do research, she finds that the number of people who voted who were dead included one person named Emmett Brown. If you go to the next slide, please. So she finds out that Emmett Brown is listed twice in the history of Hill Valley. First, he disappeared in 1985. He was a scientist. And then there's another recording of him in 1885 where he disappears, same age, also a scientist. And she starts to get curious. She goes, what's going on with this? And so she starts to do some research, finds his old house. Next slide, please. Which is all run down. It's been ransacked. She breaks in because she's brave. She's a brave female. Next slide. And so she finds that it's been ransacked. She sees his library. She starts going through the books. She gets curious. And as she pulls out one of the books, it opens up to reveal a secret room. Next slide.
Did you just watch National Treasure?
No, as it didn't fall out to the precise page, so it can't be exact.
All right, fair enough.
So she finds this secret room. It has a bunch of old parts from the DeLorean, Mr. Fusion, other things. She starts looking around, and she finds a journal. Next slide, please. And this journal has time machine information in it. It has all the drawings, has details. It has a record of all the experiments he did with Marty McFly, and it has a list of videos, and it corresponds with some videos on one of the shelves. And she goes over the shelves and pulls down one of the videos listed in there. And next slide. And this is the video that Marty took the night that they sent Einstein back to the past. And she goes, wait a minute, who is this Marty McFly? So she starts to do some research, and she finds his house. And next one slide, please. And Marty answers the door. He's got gray hair. Now he's Doc. And first of all, he doesn't want to deal anything, have any kind of dealings with her. But she pulls out proof that he went back in time, and he lets her in. And he starts to explain that it's all true. And she starts to chastise him for not being doing enough for social justice.
There you go.
Good. And Marty has to sit there and take it. And so they start discussing. They start discussing Biffton Stanton's rise, his racist base that is threatening America, and they have to find a way to stop him. And so she's done some research, found out that Biffton was inspired by a book. Next slide. Called Atlas Shuffled by Anne Gland.
Wow.
Played by Walter Bridge.
Bravo, sir. Jesus.
Anne Gland.
Yes, it's a racist book. And so they theorized that if they can rebuild the time machine, she can go back in time. She could find the manuscript that Anne Gland was going to send off, replace it with a manuscript that talks about love, not hate. And then she can get all the copies, destroy them, and then they can prevent Biffton from being racist and rising to governorship and eventually president. And so Marty gets some money together, and they find an old DeLorean. Next slide, please. There we go. And she begins to work on it. Next slide. Because she is a genius.
Of course.
She knows everything. She knows how to read all the diagrams that Doc Brown laid out. And so Marty just sits back and watches. Next slide. And he begins to cry, just being in the presence of such a strong Black woman.
Wow.
Tears. He just can't help himself. It's just a beautiful, beautiful moment. And so they start to build the time machine. Really and she goes, oh, wait, we got to do one last detail. And then, next slide. She finished it.
Fuck.
This is literal perfection. It doesn't get any better than this.
It will be when it fits a woman.
Yes. And so they start to get all this stuff together. She's about to go back to 1965 to stop Anne Gland from publishing that book. Next slide, please. She puts on her mask because she doesn't want to get 1965 germs. So she wants to be responsible.
She's very responsible, yeah.
And so she ends up going back to 1965, and she ends up parking DeLorean behind some bushes, and she's planning to hike into town. But then a bus pulls up. Next slide, please.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
And the bus stops and they wave her on. And she goes on. She finds that there. Next slide.
Oh, she ain't going to go to the back.
It's downtrodden black folk. And they've all been beaten down by this racist society. They keep talking about how they can't get ahead. And she, being the young activist she is, inspires them. She tells them that they have to keep the fight, that they will win in the end. And they all lift their heads up and they say, hey, we're going to take you into town. She goes, cool. And so they take her into town. They drop her off. And then as she's walking through town, she finds, next slide, please. It's her grandfather, Goldie Wilson. He's still working at the diner. He's being picked on by some white guys as she shoos them away. And he makes this speech about how he once thought he could become mayor, but he was wrong because there's never going to be any change in this town. And she tells him, no, you will be mayor. She is the inspiration of him becoming mayor, not Marty McFly. She is.
Why wasn't Rosa Parks on the bus?
Yeah, that was my question.
That would have made it even better.
Zendaya actually inspired Rosa Parks. So you didn't
Okay.
put that in there.
No, it was Jennifer Lawrence, guys.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Can I ask a question also too?
Yes.
2 questions. It seems that our hero Shiro is left-handed. Can she in fact be left and right-handed? Is she that amazing?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
To make her ambidextrous, right?
Yeah,
Her wielding that
We
torch.
need to add more to it.
And then is this the gangsters from Grease 2?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is, sir.
Let's
They're
do
all
it
the same.
for
It
our
doesn't matter.
country. Our country one.
They look ready to dance.
This is just stunning.
By the way,
Well-
and you should spell that with 2 A's.
Is that, wait a minute, isn't that the guy from TJ Hooker?
Adrian Zemed.
Yeah.
It's Adrian Zemed.
Is that
Well, after she gives him this inspiring speech, she mentions Anne Glenn. He goes, "Oh yeah, that racist woman. Yeah, she's got a house up north." And he says every Wednesday she comes into town for her little racist meeting. And so Macy thinks, okay, this is a good night to sneak into Anne Glenn's house and steal her manuscripts. And so Goldie Wilson gives her a ride to Anne Glenn's, or back to the time machine, and Macy takes the DeLorean to Anne Glenn's house. Next slide, please. She parks it outside, and then she sneaks into the house. Next slide.
Wait, next slide.
Yeah, next slide, please.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's all right. So she sneaks in. She's looking around. She finds copies, and she finds the original script, and she replaces it. And as she's looking at the pictures on the wall, she notices. Next slide, please.
Oh no!
Anne Glenn has a wall of Hitler.
Wow.
She's a huge fan of Hitler and John Wayne.
And John
'cause
Wayne.
Wayne was a
John
racist.
Wayne.
Yeah. Oh.
The Fuhrer and the Duke, huh?
wow?
Can I suggest you have Elvis on there as well?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yes,
Mhm.
I will put Elvis there next time. And so Macy grabs all the copies and she sneaks out. But as she's sneaking out, next slide, please. Anne Glenn pulls up.
What the
Anne Glenn gets out of her truck. Next slide, please.
ninja?
Starts shooting at her. And Macy runs into the DeLorean and drives off. And then Anne Glenn gets into her truck and chases after. Next slide. There she is, chasing after her. And Macy Wilson, as she's driving, starts to think, I can go back in time now. So she says, let's see if this bitch can do 90. So she speeds up. Nothing happens. Then she realizes that the Mr. Fusion must have been hit by a bullet. And so she thinks, I gotta find a way to get back in time. And she thinks, I'm near to the McFrugal power plant. If I could somehow get there, harness the power, I can get back to the future. And so she takes a quick left into the entrance, the McFrugal power plant.
Albuquerque.
Next slide, please.
Next slide. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. And as she's driving there, Anne Glenn takes a pursuit. And as she's driving up towards the power plant, Macy thinks, I need to find a way to bring down those power lines. So she speeds up towards one of the power lines. And at the very last second, she swerves to the left. And Anne Glenn hits one of the power lines and destroys her truck. Next slide, please. Bringing it down, killing her because that's what she deserves. She's a racist.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then
it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, so I don't care.
And then Macy to do a U-turn and sees that the power lines are down. She closes her eyes. She hits the gas pedal, goes straight for these down power lines. Next slide, please. She hits it, sending her back to the future. Next slide, please. As she arrives, she notices that this old decommissioned power plant.
Oh my gosh.
Trash everywhere. Bifton is now homeless. So that's what he deserves. She gets out the car and she's wondering, am I back to the future? And he runs up to her and says, hey, what are you doing out here? And she says, oh, I'm just looking for my friends. And he goes, oh, that's weird. No one ever comes out here. She goes, look, what year is it? And he tells her it's 2025. She goes, okay. So she drives off. And as she drives off, he notices that she dropped something. And so he looks down, picks up this little booklet. Next slide, please.
I'm scared.
It's the drawings of the DeLorean. It also has notes how to contact the Libyan terrorists that Doc stole plutonium from. And then next slide.
Shouldn't that be Ukraine? Oh, never mind.
Bifton looks up and smiles. And then music. Next slide.
Yes.
You continue. And then there's one more. One more slide. Since Hollywood has to milk all their IPs,
of course,
there's going to be a spinoff starring Marvin Berry, who's a closeted gay man who's haunted by the night he met Marty McFly, aka Calvin Klein. And he's been searching for him ever since that magical night where he disappeared. And this show is called Earth Gangel, which is no longer going to be on HBO Max, but it will be.
No, I see that.
Best they can get.
Dang.
Bravo.
So
Well
that's
done.
it.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done. What? Okay. It's so bizarre. It's so over the top. It just seems real.
I feel like I've
real.
seen the movie already. That's the weird thing.
With the exception of Hitler on the wall, there's a couple things that are a little too outlandish, but other than that, it actually seems like a legit pitch that would happen today. And, it all ties in.
It follows all the woke beats quite accurately to the point where there's almost zero conflict for the majority of the film.
Exactly.
So one suggestion I would say is that the power plant in the present needs to be replaced with a wind turbine and solar panels.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right. Mystery Chris, is anyone you did this for fun, but I mean, I could see you pitching this as like the fourth Back to the Future movie and people actually taking it seriously.
Yeah, I totally think so.
Totally.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone got an idea.
I bet you get meetings.
Because if they didn't make a sequel, it would be Zendaya. Obviously.
I totally bet you get meetings.
Oh yeah.
I'm dead serious.
There's too many check boxes being ticked with that. It's just like, oh man, you gotta bring this.
Yeah,
in
there was too many white people in it for sure. Yeah, I agree.
What's so interesting is that for a Back to the Future film and also with a black protagonist, you don't have a musical band in the movie, and that's kind of a staple of the Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's what happens when they go on the bus. Is they're all singing.
Well,
but maybe like a rapper or something.
They all start singing, so that'll be
that's not
actually Zendaya brings rap to the past.
The news is a big part of the first one. You had ZZ Top in the third one, and you had Red Hot Chili Peppers in the second one. So what musical group, what band are you going to bring in?
Lizzo. There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Lizzo
can be on the bus.
God, no.
Right.
And then she does like She does hip hop. She does like a freestyle rap, and all of the black people in the band, they love it, and all the white people are just like shaking their heads. And
she's got to be funny.
Apart from that one which starts to do that, but they can't dance because they're white, obviously. So they just
exactly. I'm loving this idea.
But then they bust out the flutes, which really throws everyone off.
I'm willing to back this film right now.
$5 pledge. Thank you. Yes.
I just think it
well,
leans
let's
so,
not go too over the top with the money.
but it leans so far into it that I think that's what makes it funny. It's almost like someone was saying they should make a parody film, like Not Another Woke Movie. You just make this, or at least make this as part of it, like a running gag. Like,
could you imagine the Zucker brothers and Abrams at their peak in this woke culture doing Black to the Future? It would be the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life.
So
it would be.
If I was like, I'd like to give some like Hollywood notes. Okay, I want some LGBT representation and some
Well, Zendaya's gay, obviously.
No. Marty McFly is gay, so when he comes out, he opens the door and there, he's with his lover.
No, what if he
transitioned? He's gay, but Jennifer has also transitioned from woman to man.
Yeah, you need a transgender in there too.
Oh, look at there's a puppy.
It's got to be that.
Oh yeah, that's.
And then we need to figure out how she's going. We need to figure out how Zendaya. Maybe that can be in the next one. She takes the DeLorean and she solves the border crisis.
I think the biggest mistake is that you're using a DeLorean because you should be using current car advertising placement there. Yeah, so it'd likely be a Mustang, sponsored by Mustang. So
they're using Alyssa Milano's electric Volkswagen.
It's got swastikas all over it and everything.
Yeah.
The top. It's not. Hasn't got a. What they call them? Skylight. Sunroof. It's just got a gun tank turret on top there. Panzer tank turret. Back to the future.
What if Kanye was the husband of the girl from the past, of the author? Wouldn't that totally work?
Well, who would
it'll throw people for sure.
Who would she rap to connect? Kind of like Marty McFly showed them the way of rock and roll. Who would Zendaya show the way of hip hop?
Eminem.
Well, technically,
yeah.
Well, if you want to go to a minorly historically accurate, she'd have to bump into Rudy Ray Moore because he's kind of the forefather of rap.
Actually, yeah, that is true.
Okay, where's he at?
Dolomite.
It doesn't matter. He could be traveling anywhere.
Doesn't
he could
matter.
be going through Hill Valley because he doesn't come up with it for another 10 years. So
they're like, "Hey, Rudy Ray Moore, you know that new sound you've been here looking for?"
Perfect. I hope you're writing all these down, Mr. Joseph.
These are great. Yes, there's going to be a whole trilogy, so we'll fit all this in.
And Zendaya's going to rap, and then everyone's just going to be like, "What?" Well, you might not be ready for this, but your kids are gonna love it.
If Zendaya raps, it's got to be mumble rap because rappers these days suck. So got to add that little bit of authenticity in there.
Get Snoop Dogg to write the rap parody because he does the mumble parody so well when he just goes. So he could bring him in for the parody there.
There you go.
So why doesn't the Film Threat, why don't you guys produce this as an independent film?
Yeah. We can take that stockpile of money that we have.
Alan, you have all that Disney Shield money, right?
So what is stopping us? I'll put in a couple bucks.
The rights, I guess.
Well,
I think if
Zemeckis still being alive,
you could do something like this as parody. You could do it as parody. Maybe not as a full movie, but like sort of like
Funny or Die video.
Yeah, or get a commercial made.
Well, you know how Nathan Fillion did that 15-minute Uncharted fan film. You could do that 15-20 minute.
You could
still decent production for that short time though.
Like an extended trailer.
I just think like with all other woke films, you only really do have 20 minutes of anything in there, and it's all the rest of the film.
That's true. Oh my God. I at least make a T-shirt of this. of the logo.
Yeah,
it's too good.
Yeah.
I'd buy
How
it.
can you fit the fist on here though?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
instead of the
Brilliant.
line, it's a fist, and then it's got the
Yeah.
the dot there.
That'd be good.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, Mr. Chris, I got to say thank you. I think you cheered up Alan. Alan,
the movie is so woke. You don't need Asians or Latinos in it. That's
yeah, for sure. For sure.
We're used to it. I don't mind being
Yeah,
in the second
yeah,
one
maybe.
or the third one. It's all good.
No, I think it's hysterical, and you have to do something more with it, even if it's just like a short film, even like a parody. I think it would be, because it's so extreme, and I think you could even make it even more woke, which I think would make it funny, because all the choices are so predictable. It's like, this is how Hollywood does everything. Like,
Yep.
God, I saw Alan and I saw like the first 3 episodes of Willow, and I was talking to Gary Gary from Neurotic, and I said, you could review it without seeing it, because everything you think is going to happen just happens.
Yeah.
It's predictable.
God, it was awful.
By the way, that 5th episode is must see.
Is it?
It's very gay.
You got that? I didn't get past episode 2. I said, I'm done with this.
I haven't started.
Michael.
See, of all the woke beats that you hit in there, Mr. Chris, the only one you're missing are reproductive rights.
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe she could be pregnant and she could be going back in time so she can get an abortion.
Yeah, this is your abortion.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If anything, she'd have to be the inspiration for Roe.
Yeah.
And how about we totally Jake Skywalker, Marty? He's pregnant. So he opens the door.
Now it's getting weird. It's getting weird now.
His goal is just to go back to
It's
1985.
getting weird now?
Going back to 1965.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, go on. I was just saying, I want that scene where the Zucker brothers actually direct this, and Marty has to go make a cup of coffee.
David Zucker might actually do this one.
Oh, he would. I think he would. Yeah.
No. Jessica Gal all the way. She has to direct this movie.
Oh my God. I really feel like, though, if you did pitch this in Hollywood, it would be taken seriously. They would not laugh.
Oh, not at all.
They wouldn't see
You would definitely get in the room.
He would get in the room.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But if you wanted to really sell it, I would tighten that pitch up to like 3 minutes, and then they'll really believe it, because what you have right now, it goes on too long. They'll just ignore you and ask you to leave. But you tighten that up to like a 3-minute pitch, you could probably fool a lot of people with that.
I know you gotta get in the room and film it.
Yeah, I gotta try that. Hilarious.
Cool. Great job.
Great job,
Yeah,
Mr. Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
You saved Christmas. You saved Christmas with your
What do I
pitch.
sit here for?
I mean, you destroyed Back to the Future, but you say you could.
Well, you did destroy
Gotta break some
Back to the
eggs.
Future. Oh man. All right. Well, look, if everyone wants to hang out, or I know it's right before the holiday, if you feel like you need to bail. We're gonna keep talking about. We should probably go to the chat and see what the chat thinks.
Yeah, there's a lot of chat.
But you're welcome to bail.
I got a bell because obviously I got FNT later, so I
that's
got.
right. I was gonna say, you and Ryan, thank you so much on FNT Day for popping by to see this. Say hi to the whole gang. I'll be watching later. So,
But thank you so much for having us chat. Lovely to see you as always, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Guys. Subscribe to Heel versus Babyface. Great channel.
And I will echo those thoughts as well. I got a couple things to take care of before FNT, but this is awesome. Thanks for having me on the holiday special. You got to make this an annual tradition now. George only did one. You guys got to do it every single year.
We'll do it.
So thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you guys later.
Take care, Ryan.
Take care.
Later.
Bye.
Subscribe to RK Outpost. Check it out. All right, I'm going to go through the chat. If you want to stick around, we'll keep chatting and see. I'm sure there's going to be questions in the chat. Okay. Shelby AC says, that's a good point, though, Anna.
Thank you.
So, look, Anna's getting some love. James Ricciuti for 1999 says, Merry Christmas, Chris, Alan, Dante, Script, and Anna. Alan is sad because Cocaine Bear is in rehab and can't appear today. I learned narcissist writers think they tell a better story than Professor Tolkien. Oh, good point. Solomon Thornton says, biggest takeaway, caring about diversity, political messaging instead of making a good story. Good story is primary. Filming, everything else is later. Wow, this live stream is packed. It's packed for sure. Not the Batman. What, Anna? What? Chris can't go a day without mentioning RRR. That's actually
that is very true.
I do think Nina might have mentioned it, but is there another Indian movie that's like with a number?
KGF Chapter 2?
I don't know.
Chapter 1.
Because I looked at this and it reminded me of something, but I feel like the movie had like a number in the title and it wasn't just the 3 letters.
Not that I can recall.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jay Tapey says, lol, he talks about it so much you'd think he made it. Just kidding, Chris. All right, that's fine with me. Bert for 2 says, Ryan, please make more movie reviews from your car. I'll pass that along to Ryan. I'll DM him. Joe Tapia for $1.99 says, what a great panel. Cheers, everyone. Well, thank you for that. Cheers back and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and the like. Akiyamoto for $44.99
pounds.
Pounds?
44 pounds and 99 pence. To be
That's
exact.
a lot. Thank you so much. The fellow Yorkshire man sausages. Well, thank you. Wow, that is very generous. Thank
Not
you.
from Australia?
No, England.
Yeah. Jonas Campbell for 5 says, I'm here to enjoy the conversation and give you $5, and I'm all out of $5. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Well done.
Well, we love it. Joe Musashi for 5 says, if you like martial arts action, see Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday with Scott Adkins. One of the best action films I've seen this year. Happy holidays. Well, happy holidays to you.
Get on my list.
So Doc Savage for 5 says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Anna, RRR slaps. You gotta see it. I can't believe Anna.
I'll think about it.
You would like it. It's very, it's very testosterone driven.
It doesn't mean it's good.
Well, that is true. That is true. Big Worm for 5 says, hail and Merry Christmas. This doesn't need to be feature length or a 50-minute short. Just do an extended trailer would be enough. I think what do you guys like? What did I do?
I'm sorry, that avatar kills me. I love it. From Friday, Big Worm. Oh,
the character
messing with my money is like messing with my emotions.
Oh my god. But yeah, Mr. Chris, I just think it's so well thought out and so detailed and so in line with what a studio would do. I don't know. I feel like you got to do something with it, even if it's like animated, like an animated version of the pitch deck that you can send to people.
Actually, you know what though? That's a good idea. Doing like a fake trailer, like that could be something too, man.
An extended trailer, because you hit all the trailer beats.
Yeah.
And just go. What I love about it, because I saw this on I saw this when I actually saw it live when you guys were doing it, and I was dying. And then I asked Carrie to get your contact info, and oh my god, it's just so good. Mark Wilkins for 10 says, y'all should pitch your Black to the Future idea to the Wayans brothers. They would actually do it, and it would be hilarious. I think
that would be great.
If you do it as a comedy and like parody, I think that it's why not? What I mean, what's stopping you? I mean, or go to Michael B. Jordan's has a production company now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't really. I mean, I don't know. Although I'm looking forward to Creed 3. Creed 3 looks really good.
Yeah, agree with that.
Cool. All right, more comments. There's a lot. Dude B says, what do you think was the worst TV show and movie of the year?
She-Hulk.
Rings of Power.
She-Hulk.
You know, that kind of is
a mix there too.
No, I would actually watch She-Hulk before I watch Rings of Power. Let's put it that way.
Well,
they both suck.
Definitely shorter.
That's fair, but
they're all bad.
Yeah.
Kenobi.
They're all bad.
Carrie Smith is in the chat. She says, lol, 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 lol. Okay, subscribe to her channel. It's great. The stuff she's doing is amazing. And she's also a frequent FNT guest as well. So, yeah, I think She-Hulk and Rings of Power probably tied for worst of the year. Hey, you, get your damn pronouns out of my verbiage, says Drifting67. Oh, yeah, that's one thing. You didn't, should pronouns be a part of this or?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that's
we can
probably
have a
what
conversation about like what the car's pronouns are.
Yeah,
Because it's like the car
deciding
is
the
like
license
she,
plate. Yeah.
It'd be like, oh no, it's a they them. How dare you?
And this would be a thing, like she needs like a little dog, or she needs like the car now has a voice, and it's Doc Brown's voice, because he's not in the movie, but it's Doc Brown's voice.
But a non-binary Doc Brown.
Or when she's on the bus, she can ask one of the passengers, "Hey, what are your pronouns?" And they look at her crazy.
Right.
What are you talking about?
And she could start the movement from there.
Yeah. Flaccid Phoenix asked, sort of the opposite of the last question, what was your favorite TV series of the year?
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I think Stranger Things was my favorite this year. I think they killed it, man.
Chainsaw Man.
I heard that's
Wednesday
a really good show.
and White Lotus.
That's a good anime.
I liked Better Call Saul this year.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Was it its last season this year?
It was, and it ended.
Is it
well.
good?
Yes, it is.
I'm waiting to binge it.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Should I go back and rewatch Breaking Bad before I watch it, or should I just watch it?
You can actually, it's so well written. You could watch probably either series in any order you want. And
Well, because I just haven't seen Breaking Bad, and I don't know.
I say watch Breaking Bad
Also
first, then
watch
watch Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
you'll probably get more out of it that way. But
Yeah.
either way,
Well, I mean,
works.
I've already seen Breaking Bad. I just didn't know if I should rewatch it. It's been a while.
Oh, if you already seen it, then I say just go straight to Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Maybe watch the last season of Breaking Bad first, and then watch Better Call Saul.
Makes sense. More comments here. There's a lot. Hair of the Dog says, someone somewhere with pink hair is excitedly taking notes from this.
You know they are.
JDM says, the skit has more substance than the entire movie of Ghostbusters 2016. Andrew Montpetit says, this is still way more interesting and enjoyable than Rings of Power, Willow, and She-Hulk combined. I think the thing is, here's what I think is that like, I feel like sometimes when you see wokeness in movies, it's incredibly disingenuous. It seems like it's checking the box. And while this movie has woke content, it's actually entertaining. Like the pitch is entertaining. So it's like, it sort of has, the pitch has it both ways.
Okay.
It sort of is, it has wokeness in it, but it's also entertaining because it's so over the top. So that's why I really responded to it. Here's 300 million, says Christmas Hulk. Go make this movie. And Deprogrammed with Carrie Smith says, Merry Christmas. What a great special. Happy Friday. Yes. Subscribe to Deprogrammed with Carrie Smith. It's fantastic. And follow her travels on social media. Mystery Chris, you're just Mystery Chris on social media and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
So people
MC Mystery Chris. Yeah, occasionally I tweet.
MC Mystery Chris. So hit up Mystery Chris for this pitch if you are a producer that wants to make this movie.
I'm for sale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, I was gonna say really fast. Well, Feliz Navidad, but
yes.
If I would honestly register that idea right away if you haven't already. Just call it Black in Time.
Yeah.
Turn in the Writers Guild, mail it to yourself, whatever you got to do. Knowing Hollywood, probably someone's ripping this off right now.
Heck yeah.
Well, I mean,
they won't actually make the movie.
The dumb ones rip off. The smart ones pay you because they know they can get more ideas out of you and then make more money. But
listen to script. You know what I mean, script.
Oh yeah, like he's got it. He already has it written down. He's got it on the video here. It's his.
That's true.
Under U.S. and Canada copyright law, he's good.
You're good. My bad.
No, it's always good. Anyone who is listening and has ideas, you can't really copyright an idea, but write it down in like a treatment or something. Then you've got better foundation for that.
Well, and Chris, you've already got like this exists as a pitch. You've done it on a couple of shows now. Like it's so easy to prove. These are the dates you did it.
Right.
Yeah, but Lorraine, I know you got to run.
Yes, I do. My Christmas vacation is officially started, and I actually got to run down to Universal Studios today, do a live stream from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So I can
Good times.
I'll watch it later. Watch it.
Thank you. And first of all, thank you so much for inviting me, Chris. It's good to see all of you on the panel. Mystery Chris, you got to get this thing made. I'm serious. It's probably going to be funnier than White Chicks. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. Take care. And I will see you all later. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, have fun. Cool. More comments. Got to go through. Everybody just loving the pitch. John Mewald says, lots of cars parked out front of Film Threat, not the Batman. Damn, Chris, this is turning into all the cool people at the office party squeezing into the copier room. Yeah.
Who's going to take pictures of their butts first?
That'd be me.
Okay. I will guess who that person will be, and that person is Anna. She is one that is going to be probably doing that.
No.
So, no? Okay. All right. David Glenn says, is the special guest going to be Ta-Nehisi Coates? No, it's Mystery Chris. You know that. No one likes a real world political message in a fictional movie, says Captain K 023. I think though that this is done with the interest of entertaining, because we all know it's so over the top that it's parody is what this is. It's like a parody sequel to Back to the Future, commenting on today's world and sort of wokeness out in the world. Does that make sense? I mean, Mr. Chris, what inspired you to want to do this?
Yeah. So when we're thinking about remaking movies from making them woke, Back to the Future was the one that popped in my head first, because we're overdue for a sequel or a remake. And I'm sure there's some issue of rights. I'm sure you can tell me that. But I knew that I wanted to have Zendaya and, wanted to involve Black Lives Matter and all that, because that's topical stuff. But I wanted to kind of write it as a real movie and then just sprinkle woke elements on top of that, because a lot of woke writers, they're writing what they think is a good movie. It's just they suck. And so I wanted to put myself in that mindset and try to make a movie that Hollywood actually make, but make it over the top at points to make it funny.
Which is brilliant, because you're not wrong there. Even though the movies that we see in theaters stink, and I'm being very charitable there, you don't know what actually was submitted that is fitting into what those studios wanted that was just really, really bad. Like, there are more terrible scripts submitted that are in line with the check boxes that the studios get that you'll never see, that are way worse than what's put out. What they put out is what they think is the best of the bunch of what they asked for, and it's really tragic. And when they don't have those check boxes and you still see a bad movie that isn't woke or anything, but still bad, again, everybody that read that script up until that point, that was the best thing that they read within that time frame to greenlight it and put it into production. So that says a lot about the industry just on the whole, of how well they're all networked, who's pitching what, how often they pass those scripts around, and how they're connected. There's all these things. It's oversaturated and muddied that the good stuff does have a difficult time getting through. But you came at it from a really great point. If you could get Zemeckis and Bob Gale, to sign off on the parody rights, I think you might actually have a shot. But you had to pitch it soon, because I don't think by the end of 2024 anyone's going to take a concept like that seriously at the big studios.
Yeah. That's why I think if you produce it independently as independent comedy, I mean, that could revolutionize. That could.
It would be fun to see one deliberate parody of a franchise that's not trying to destroy it.
Yeah. Right. That's yeah.
Let's see. Goober says, does she install a gender flux capacitor? And then Chief Brody, kind of picking it apart here, says, but Doc Brown wasn't living in that house in 1985. How would Mr. Fusion get there? All right.
That house burned down. It was replaced with a Burger King or something of that.
Yeah. Tree of Woe says, I like how Biff was the governor of California in the last pick. That's great. Let's see. Big Jack Gameplays says, do you know what's sad? Even the jokey pitch of this movie is better than anything Hollywood could do nowadays. I agree. Like, the pitch seems like this is what could happen. Like, I could see this trailer in the theater and people groaning, but also people laughing. And that's, I think, the problem with just sort of woke stuff in general is that just there's no sense of humor. Like, God, I gotta, well, here, look, I'm gonna share something. A couple weeks ago, I was embroiled in a controversy. And I just put out a really simple tweet, which was make Marvel male again. And so
you made me mad.
Gary Beekler
took this design and is doing T-shirts now, but donating all of the money to charity, donating it all to testicular cancer research. So there you go. I'll post the link. I'll post the link to the. I've got it somewhere. I'll find it. Anyways, I think it's MK Solid 82 for $4.99 says, Chris, Alan was spotted making money angels with his Disney cash. Is that true, Alan?
There's so much cash. That what can you do?
Exactly. Okay, more comments here. Luther Talbert for 5 says the pitch was very funny, and as far as Hollywood learning anything, I keep thinking of those folks that drank the Kool-Aid. Yeah, I just think I think that this would be this is it's a viable concept, even as like a Wayans Brothers comedy. You know what I mean? Like just you're sort of having it both ways. The movie, you know, has woke content in it, but it's also self-aware, and so I don't know.
You could, if you can't get black in time, you can always get black in a minute.
Yeah.
But I almost wonder if the studios are like self-aware enough to know that we're making fun of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Probably not.
They probably don't know this
Depends on who at the studio.
Not at first. That's what I'm saying. I think you can get into the room.
Once you see that people like it, then they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Question from Lubitsch Touched Me, who's a member, says, Anna, will you be at the Star Wars trial? We're doing this trial next year. It'll be like February or March. We're launching this thing called Critics Court. It's we're putting Lucasfilm on trial for the murder of the Star Wars franchise. We have 9 charges, and we have people that will argue for the prosecution and then for the defense. So there you go.
Wait, who's arguing for the defense?
I know. I was just about to say.
We have the people that are arguing for the defense. We have people arguing for the defense. So there you go.
They're gonna just get destroyed.
Wait. Someone's at the door.
Hello.
Someone's at the door.
Come on.
Who's at the door?
The second one. Right.
Hey, it's Erick Weber.
Erick Weber?
Dude,
Merry Christmas, all.
what are you doing, man?
I joined the chat. I'm excited to be here as part of the big festivities for Film Threat.
Right, here we go. Anyone who
Why
does
am I on full screen?
Yes, just
There we go.
no. Go back to Anna.
Oh,
No,
okay,
thank
cool.
you.
All
I'm
right,
sick of
good. Back
dying.
to Anna. But Erick Weber, his channel has, along with Dante's channel, Verbal Riot, has blown up. What? You're just what'd you go? What? What's happening? All right, we'll just go back to the.
You're ruining everything.
But yeah, Erick's channel, Midnight Movie Talk, has blown up.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to you.
Yes, it's blown up. Well, you know, just a lot of people. You're putting out good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
And then Dante's channel, Verbal Riot, blowing up. Latino Slant, all of it. It's great. It's great to see. I like when my friends do well. Erick,
we need more opposing voices out there. So,
isn't that the truth, Dante?
Yeah. And speaking of opposing voices, I saw Babylon for the second time. I liked it better the second time.
Oh.
You hated it.
Dude, it's terrible.
You hated The Whale.
This is like the bane of his existence.
No,
Weber
Dante,
hates this movie. Man.
Have you seen it, Dante?
You know what?
Seen it?
Because of you, I haven't, man. I'm like, I'm putting it off.
And Gore, I tell you, you can't recommend a film for 2 scenes. There are 2 good scenes in Babylon surrounded by a dumpster fire of a script. I mean, it's not even a coherent movie when you look at a 3-hour runtime. I mean, tonally, it's a disaster.
Well, that's the thing. It's a problem is the 3 hours, because people already like Avatar 3 hours. And also AMC runs 20 minutes of commercials. They never not do it. It's so irritating.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten so irritating. I'm just sort of over it.
Well, the only thing that, you know, for me especially, I don't think I've seen a Margot Robbie movie that I didn't like. So I'm really curious as to, you know, what Babylon's going to do for me.
She's not the
like
problem.
Birds of Prey?
Yeah, she's good in it, but she's very Margot Robbie in the movie.
Alan, did you like Babylon?
I'm with you. I think there were 3 good scenes in it, but the rest was just a labor to get through. And the 3, I mean, it's as long as Avatar, and that's unforgivable for a movie like that.
Yeah, and interesting, you know, Paramount's not releasing the box office. They know this thing's in trouble.
Well, I saw it at a packed screening at 3 p.m. in the afternoon at AMC Burbank 16, but that's not a
regular movie theater. That's like an industry theater.
That's that's the thing we always forget, and I do that too. When you start talking about box office and you use theaters like Burbank or Century City or the Grove. I mean, we are in the cinephile center of the universe here in LA. You got to go look at Dallas, Dayton, Ohio. Look at
Orange
those
County,
screenings.
right?
That's where the movie's going to succeed or fail.
Yeah, it's like saying they sold a lot of Ford trucks in Detroit. It's like, well, people, at least back in the day. Chief Brody says, I never disagreed with a single thing Weber or Gore have said in their entire careers.
Wow.
Well, that's good. That's
So
good
Avatar and Babylon.
Jen McMahon for $4.99 says, don't need no credit cards to drive this underground train.
Oh.
And please, Wes says, please get someone who actually believes the defense position. I do. I have my friend Kevin Rubio. He has volunteered to be the defense. And some of the charges, I can look it up because it was a Google Doc that we put together. Alan, why don't you read more of the chats? Or also, if anyone needs to drop off, because I know it's Christmas Eve. If you need to drop off, let me know.
I have to go in about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I do too. So
okay, cool. All right. Well, and anyone else, just let me know. I'm going to find this document. Alan, why don't you go through the...
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now.
Okay, cool. I'm going to find it, and I want to share a screen with it. So,
do you want me to find it, or are you going to find it?
I'll find it. I'll find it. Wait, we gotta
I have
play.
it.
Wait, you have it? Wait,
The document,
Alan,
right?
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. So you have it? Okay. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Alan, you found it?
Don't you know any of these off the top of your head?
Alan, please, can you zoom in? Alan, 10 seconds.
God.
Alan, this is our dumb thing we do every time that. Okay, so here it is. We came up with a list of 9 charges. Case number 1138: the fans versus Lucasfilm Disney for the murder of the Star Wars franchise. This is real. We are doing a real trial. We've got sketch artists. I have 2 different sketch artists that have volunteered. So they're going to be like, you're going to see like their pad of paper while they're doing, court sketch room drawings. We've got people that will be for the prosecution and those for the defense. But let's just go through some of these charges. Charge number 1, Lucasfilm is charged with fraudulent representation. Lucasfilm knowingly set expectations that the original trilogy cast would reunite in The Force Awakens. Fans were led to believe that Han, Luke, and Leia would reunite. So that's our first charge out of the gate.
it's pretty damning. Pretty damning. I mean, you don't have to share, Alan. We don't want to go through them all, but just to give people a tease, we're probably going to kick off this trial right when Mandalorian season 3 starts. I think that's going to be good timing. So we'll do that. I like it.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So we've got, we even are bringing on another producer. We're doing graphics and video. It's going to be epic. I went and bought, this is real. I have a real courtroom.
A gavel.
I got the gavel. So yeah, no, this is going to be real. What I'm going to do is these 9 different charges, then we're going to have sort of the closing arguments. So we're going to run it like a real trial. So it should be a lot of fun.
You gonna get a stenographer too, like old school?
Anna will be the stenographer. She's gonna wear like librarian glasses, and she's gonna pretend to be typing things. Anna, will you do that for us? Please, Anna.
I don't think she's online at the moment.
Okay, cool. All right,
she's muted herself.
Okay, cool. Let's go
If
through
you
some
can
more
get
chats.
this so that Court TV streams it, that'd be brilliant.
Well, I want it to be taken seriously, and then the jury is going to be the viewers. We will do like who won the art. We'll do a poll after each show. So we're not going to do like chats or questions during it. We're going to save those to the end. Then we're going to do a poll and see, and then we'll do final closing arguments. And the poll is literally going to just see, well, which way is it weighted? Because I want people who love the sequels or have defenses for it. I want them to be able to defend their arguments. It's something that never happens. You don't hear people just yell at each other on social media. They don't take it seriously. Anna, do you have some glasses you could wear? So you could be our official stenographer?
Why do I need glasses?
So you can look like you have bad eyesight?
Oh, I do have bad eyes. I actually have real glasses. They're in my purse, but I guess I can wear those.
But we are going to treat it like it's a real trial, right? Like I'll wear a judge's robe. Alan will be Alan, what are you going to be? You're going to be like the bailiff?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. So you wear like a cop uniform with this. Look, we're just going to have fun with it, but the actual arguments are going to be very serious. And I think we're going to get some looping sound.
So who's arguing for the prosecution?
Oh, I'm going to get like name the usual suspect. I'll probably get Gary Beekler, script doctor. I'll get like people, Ryan Kinel, people who talk a lot about Star Wars on both sides, right? Maybe that guy from Den of Nerds, maybe he would join as the defense. Like, I want a wide variety of people, and I want people with different opinions, but I want people with different opinions to talk to each other because they never talk to each other. All they do is yell on social media or like do videos kind of calling each other out.
Well, they'll do it on like EFAP. Like Mahler will bring people on if they cover a video and then have like that little debate. But that's it's a whole other forms.
I mean, ultimately, it's a debate show. I mean, we're kind of, goofing on the whole trial aspect. But
it'd be really cool, man, if you can get like Star Wars Theory or somebody to hop on for the defense. I'm pretty sure I don't know. He's pretty vocal about not liking the new stuff. So
yeah,
maybe not for the defense.
Yeah. I could be Mickey Mouse.
Will anybody be making the Chewbacca defense?
What's the Chewbacca defense
from South Park? They had Johnny Cochran.
Oh no!
About Chewbacca being on Endor.
No, that would be. I don't know. I just want. My whole thing is I just want to create a discussion, and so we are going to time it with coming out with the new Mandalorian season 3. Shanzi Comic Construct has been a member for 3 months and says I'm down. I love that. I love that you're down.
All right, well, guys, I got to get going.
You gotta go. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me on, and it was nice hearing your pitch, dude. That was really funny.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Merry Christmas.
Take care, Anna. Merry Christmas. She's fine.
Yeah, I gotta go in a few minutes.
You gotta go. Okay, cool.
Not right now, but like in a few minutes.
If Gore wants to do, a Babylon court case where you argue for the merits of that piece of trash film, I will take you apart, Gore.
Much of the reason I like the movie is not. Here's what I noticed the second time I watched the film. Because at first you're sort of caught up in the spectacle and the nudity and the sort of bizarre
nudity.
Orgies.
I don't even remember the orgy is the most unsexy orgy in the history of cinema. I don't even remember it.
I thought it was just bizarre, like the sort of over the top parties. What I liked about it, it's a conversation about the love of film. When Manny has this conversation of like, why do you want to be on a movie set? He wants to be close to the magic. It's when you look at the conversations with their.
I have a question for you.
Talking about movies and look, Paulie, you need to see this film.
No, I don't need to see the film.
No, you do.
No, hold on, Chris.
Yeah.
How was this actor? Was this guy any good?
Diego.
No, I love Diego Calvin.
No, listen, no, Alan. He's fine.
Great.
He's fine. It's not like he is a detriment to the film, but he's also not a best actor. I mean, you guys, we got to stop doing this where we watch somebody and go, oh well, they are the best actor, or they're certainly in consideration. It's fine. It's not a performance that I am going to ever remember.
He held his own.
Okay, there's a point I'm getting to because I don't care if his performance is actually fine or not. What does he do in the show in this movie? Is he like screwing chicks, and what's his character like?
No, he wants to be a producer, a film producer, and he goes pretty far in being able to do that.
Right, so he kind of loses himself.
But he falls in the trappings of Hollywood of that time.
Yeah, so this clown came out with he was interviewed all over the place, and it promoting this film. And the reason why I will not see this film is because he took a crap on Narcos Mexico, and the makers of the show. They gave him his break.
Wow.
Right, and he had like a little role, he was a little nothing role. And this is not my Mexico. It doesn't represent me. And I don't think I'll ever shoot a gun on film again. You know what, buddy? Get the out of here, man. I cannot stand that. Like your elevated sense of yourself because you got cast in this film. I hear it all the time from these fresas that they'll play a gangster, they'll play a drug lord in which I think is a great show, Narcos. and then they'll get this once in a lifetime chance, and then they shit on everything they've done, and talk down about the stereotypes that they played. I'm pretty upset about it. I already did a video on it. I'm not going to see this film, Chris. No way.
I really think you should see it. It's because to me it's about love of Hollywood and Hollywood becoming an art form. The whole argument that Jack Conrad has with his I forget which wife was the third wife, about like film is art, but like film had only existed for like 30 years, right? 30 years they've been making movies, and he's arguing with her like, because she's a Broadway actress, he's an actor in movies, and film is art. And it's this whole conversation. She looks down on what he does, and he has this big argument with her at the end. The thread in the movie that I responded to upon second viewing, because first viewing, it's spectacle, it's all this crazy stuff happening. The stuff with Tobey Maguire at the end is hysterical in my opinion.
Terrible. No, it's terrible, Chris.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Horrible.
It's too dark for me.
It's not. It's so bad,
sorry,
Chris.
Paulie,
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you. Look,
no, he's
I'm
wrong.
telling you
You're
that
wrong.
this is a shit move that this guy does, and I'm sick of these actors doing this, man.
No, I mean I get it. You wish actors would stop talking.
It only adds to my hatred of it.
Why would I go see this film? And I cover this for my channel, right? Like I talk about so many wonderful actors who happen to be Latino on the channel, and I want to. And then I read this guy, and then the headlines. I mean, every Variety. Look it up. Variety. Blah blah blah. I don't know what. What's his name? Damian Chafa, whatever his fuck his name is. Excuse my language. Puts down Narcos. It's not Mexico. Da 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 da. I'm like, buddy. Listen, all the great ones started somewhere. Al Pacino.
And by the way, that's not a bad place to start, man. Narcos is a damn good show.
It's like saying Godfather is not America.
No, man. No, it's you guys are pissing me off.
No. Well, it's Chris defending the film.
Weber, when you say less the least sexiest orgy scene, are we talking worse than Caligula?
Much worse.
Worse
I mean,
than,
it's I don't even. That's not even. Listen, here's the problem that Gore is glossing over. He's mentioning the thread and all the things that are poignant in the film, and there certainly are. But the issue is that within all that messaging that is actually, certainly piercing, it works for if you're a lover of Hollywood. But the problem is everything around it tonally is literally as erratic as I've seen in a film. A recent note. I mean, it's been many, many years since I go back to a film that was unable to nail tone as poor. I mean, just absolutely destroyed tone. This film and Gore. It doesn't. You can't have good moments followed by trash, and that's the problem with the film.
But for me, it's that contrast, right? Of like the impression of what you think Hollywood is. It's glamour. It's horrific. The scene that they do over and over with Margot Robbie when sound comes in and she has to say,
best scene in the movie.
Yeah, she has to make her mark and then go over to another place and then she has to say all these lines, and they show you like 8 takes in a row of them trying to get it right and everything that goes wrong. And just look, I've been on a film set. I've worked behind the scenes on a lot of different things. And like that kind of frustration, like when the one person like walked in the door and they just like, the guy says, mother, like they've reached this boiling point and they keep escalating. I love that.
You're focusing on one of the 2 good scenes. I just said at the start of this, Gore, you're literally doing what I said don't do. You're talking about one of the 2 good scenes, that and the other one where Brad Pitt is told he's done. That is it. There are 2 really strong scenes, but the other 2 hours and 45 minutes are borderline unwatchable, and you cannot recommend this for anyone to go see. Gore, stop.
I'm recommending it. because through, and look, and I'm telling you it's flawed. We did a review the other day. The movie, I mean, the numerous flaws, that final montage of the movie. That like was like I was
I'm loving this fight, by the way.
Huh?
I'm loving this fight, by the way.
Okay, for me, it's not even a fight. I'm not going to see this film.
No, you definitely are.
But you guys do your thing. You guys do your thing. I actually have principles with this channel with backing up actors in films that actually love filmmaking, love being an actor, love the opportunities, and don't talk shit about where they come from. No, thank you.
Your principles, Paulie's principles align with the fact that he's going to save himself from sitting through this dumpster fire. I mean, it's perfect for you, Paulie.
No, but let me
you're
just
blessed this Christmas.
Let me just say, I am blissfully unaware of a lot of because I don't pay attention to press and actors saying stupid things. Actors say stupid things. I think a lot of times they are baited by the journalists who lead them, ask a lot of leading questions, like that question that about James Cameron came out about toxic masculinity, turned out to be all out of context. That was again another leading question, and so I really ignore that stuff. So because I think it's just pretty.
It was not an agenda he was walking into the room wanting to get across.
Right. So I don't know. So okay. Well, Paulie sent me a link here.
You don't have to. You don't. I'm just pointing out that this and listen. I get. Hey, can you cover this for the channel? Members and subscribers throw me stuff to look at. It's like, okay.
Right,
Then I saw this and I was like, oh gosh, because there's such an attack right now on the genre of kind of narco gang films, and it's bad stereotypes of Latinos and Hollywood, and which I completely disagree. Any film that's shit is bad, right? But if they're elevated like Narcos, Mexico, which arguably to me the best gangster television show ever.
Yeah,
it's going to make careers. It's made sorry, bro. It made careers of Diego Luna and Tenoch Huerta in the States. Those guys rocked those roles. And you know what? They played some devious people. They played some nasty people. We like seeing that stuff. That's entertainment. So when this homeboy who has a little role in it in Narcos talks the trash about this TV show, very talented writers, directors, and then not to mention all the people they hired in front of the camera, I get a little, I'm just done. I'm done. We're talking about what we learned from Hollywood this past year, Gore. I'm done with that shit. Why am I going? I don't have to talk about anyone that's a Latino in the business just because they're Latino. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You got to do this, Paulie. No, I don't got to do shit. I'm going to talk and I'll review it. Right. And if you guys know, I go with you all the time. I pay for my ticket, whatever. Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I get really.
No. Look, I think in order to have an opinion about it, you need to see it. That's kind of I know. I would like to hear, even if you agree with Erick Weber. And Erick is ignoring the fact that I pointed out all the flaws and problems I had with the film. I'm saying that for me, it outweighed it because of this constant thread in conversation about love of cinema. And I especially love movies. It's mostly set in the 20s. It kind of goes through the 30s, but I love that era is amazing. I love it too. Even everything from the architecture to the clothing to just the attitude. I love this filmmaker. I loved all of it.
First Man, right?
Yeah, First Man.
Erick Weber, I saw what he was saying about it, and then Cameron Pasha, they're both saying, skip this one, and we love this guy. So I'm like, all right.
Oh, Erick, you're muted. You're muted, Erick. You're muted.
My bad.
You're muted.
So Damien Chazelle is one of the most talented filmmakers out there. There's no question. I mean, we can't. That's not even up for debate. But after this film, his stock is going to take a massive hit. I mean, there's no question about it. And as you look at this film, I think the most disappointing part, in the fact that is really just hard to even fathom, is that he had an opportunity to make a really strong film about 1920s Hollywood, that transition from silent to talkie, and you could have made something really strong if you would have taken out all of the extra crap, the tonal stuff that does not work, the dark comedy that is absolutely a whiff, the whole Tobey Maguire stuff. If you pare the movie down and make it 145 and get rid of all of that gore, get rid of every single bit of it, and keep things like the first scene, where Margot Robbie's doing the talkie, she has to nail the line when she's only been doing silent films, right? Keep that. Keep Brad Pitt. But get rid of everything else, like the elephant taking a crap on top of everybody to start the movie. This is why the movie's bad, is because the good is absolutely gutted by the bad.
Yeah, he was a filmmaker who was not prepared for all the money that Hollywood gave him to make this movie.
Well, I'll just say it's ambitious, and I do agree about the running time. There is a great 2-hour movie in this 3-hour movie.
Okay.
And this self-indulgence, this 3-hour running time thing, I'm just so over it. Like, you have to plot out.
For me, Chris,
thing. Wait,
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it during the break just for you, Chris. All right.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
I'm gonna review it.
And you should dedicate your review to me.
I will.
Because I convinced you. All right, I'll be right back. Alan, you have the con. Alan, you have the con.
Alan, so let me just, Alan, you guys, I want to throw something out there, and this is exactly what Gore just said about the 3-hour runtime. We have an issue, a systemic issue in Hollywood, where the studios are so eager to work with the filmmakers. In this case, Paramount with Damien Chazelle coming off of La La Land and First Man, and certainly Whiplash before that. And they're like, we want to work with him. He's making a movie about 1920s Hollywood. So here, go ahead and do whatever you want. And that is the problem. The studios are letting these directors make the exact film they want to make. And I know that sounds like, oh, yeah, that's great. No, you still need some level of studio control. You need somebody like myself to step in there and say, this movie is an hour too long. And the script's not even, we need to redo the script. We need, before it even gets made. That's the problem, is they're just saying, make the movie you want to make. And it's not working out.
That is the producer's job to do that.
Yeah, but the producer was the star of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, the other part is the producer has to have so many yeses per year, fiscal year, in order for them to maintain their job. And in some cases, they might get an idea that's so tantalizing to them that they realize, oh, we got to do this now. So you forego all the development, all the need to actually make a great story just to get the product done and out there so that you can make your mark within the studio. That's also a terrible thing. And that has to do with bad negotiating contracts and bad terms with business dealings within the studio system.
But what about, when we look at the studios and studio heads nowadays, and you go back to, and I know this is always going to be a real touchy subject, but I'm going to say it and I'm going to make sure everything is out there. When you look at Harvey Weinstein, okay, and Harvey Weinstein, listen, just remove, obviously, piece of garbage human being, okay, just let's all this, let's get rid of all that, get rid of all of it. No one's arguing that, no one's suggesting that. But what he was good at was making sure that his filmmakers came in at 140, at 150. He just demanded it. I mean, look at what he did with Bong and Snowpiercer. They got into a huge argument about that film. And I think Snowpiercer is a very strong film.
But also, Harvey Weinstein was a very, very, very scary dude, man. I mean, the guy was like the real life kingpin, man. The guy was huge, like no one's going to sit there and argue with Harvey Weinstein.
And that
Meryl Streep called him God, for crying out loud.
Well, so why can't we have some more of that in the studio heads that are a little more just they have to be very certain about what their talents and what they're able to do when it comes to gauging a film and whether it needs to be cut down on all those things. But we need more of that.
There's a power dynamic going on that it just shifts back and forth constantly.
Well,
right now the power is given to the filmmakers.
100%, Alan. Yes.
It is, and so what you're talking about is the fact that Hollywood has notoriously had a lack of discipline for many, many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
And I mean, I don't like Judd Apatow. I think he's a detriment to comedy because he doesn't make comedy films. He makes dramas with comedic actors that throw in jokes here and there. You cannot laugh straight for 2 hours because it does hurt. 90 minutes is the sweet spot. Always has been, always will be. One of the best comedies, which was written at the request of management, was Young Frankenstein. It was written not by Mel Brooks, but by Gene Wilder. And that is one of the best comedies to come out of the 20th century. And it does everything right. It hits all your notes. Everybody gets their taste for it. It's a universally loved film. And it had a lot of discipline to the point where it's like, we're not just going to do every joke we possibly can. We're going to pick the best ones and we're going to make those the stand out and really hit hard when they need to hit hard. Nowadays, when you have movies, it's like, well, we've got the streaming outlet so people can actually watch longer things. So it's okay if it's a 3-hour theatrical run. They'll watch it in at home on streaming. We'll get some money off of that. And they completely forget that, people have biological needs in a theater. They have to go to the washroom and you don't do intermissions. So therefore you're screwing over the theaters from getting chances on concession sales and other aspects of the theater going experience. You're trying to you're essentially holding your audience hostage. And if the movie happens to be amazing and 3 hours long, they're not going to want to leave, which means that you're going to have a massive floodgate, to restrooms right after every showing. And that's also, and I've been in those situations before, and that was like the late 90s, early 2000s for like revival films and whatnot. It's not a good idea because you will damage those theaters' plumbing. And guess what? The studios aren't going to be responsible for that. I mean, these are things that you should be kind of thinking a little bit when you're going the marketing route and distribution route of your film. There's no need to really have a 3-hour epic without an intermission.
But see, again, I feel like that falls back on the producer.
It does.
The producer is the captain of the ship. He needs to set these guidelines, man, and they're not doing that anymore.
Because they're friends, they're buddies, right? I mean, like in this case, like Pitt, he's not going to go up to Giselle.
Again,
He's like, I trust you.
the star
I
of the
trust
movie,
you
too.
implicitly, and that's the problem.
I think a lot of times a 3-hour running time is a movie that is important, and it's in search of awards recognition, and that's what this movie Babylon is. It's a movie that's seeking out, like, please nominate me. But look, Eric, we agree more than we disagree. Because all my criticisms, when I said the running time, but I found more to like in it than perhaps you did.
I did, but it's the moments. It's the moments, and then the outside those moments that is unbearable. So I can't. It's not worth trudging through the
It's
film.
pearls before swine. You have to really dig to find those pearls.
Yeah, you do. Isn't that true?
Well, you know what? I enjoyed it a second time, but the flaws stood out. Even that montage, like that to me, like.
Ooh.
How do you make that the button of your movie?
It ruins Singing in the Rain.
It makes it even worse.
Yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that thing, just like it's frustrating because there's an epic, great 2-hour movie in this movie, maybe 2:15, but this 3-hour movie thing is annoying. RRR at only one of the 5 screenings where I saw RRR in the theater, they included the intermission. It was when I saw it it was a Lemley, now it's a Landmark, and they actually they put up a clock with a 5-minute countdown, so you knew, I've got 5 minutes to run to the bathroom or grab another popcorn, whatever. Like, I love that. Like, just do that. Like, come to a place in the story that, like, okay, we're gonna stop, but you can't, if you're gonna show me 20 minutes of trailers. And by the way, at Avatar, when we saw Avatar the first time at AMC Burbank, there were 30 minutes of trailers.
Yep.
Not 20, 30. That is excessive. That was
really that many movies coming out in the new year so quickly that you need 30 trailers. 30
minutes.
Well,
2 behind the scenes. There were two behind the scenes. Yeah, that were long.
The Mission Impossible
was great.
Like, you know what? Show me a taste of it, and I'll go on YouTube and watch it. Sometimes I feel like some of these movies, the credits are so long that they should say, "Here's where to go to get download the PDF of the credits." Because I don't want to be sitting there, yes, fine, this is your song. There are no like hit songs from movies anymore like this. It doesn't.
That's another thing that died. The theme song for superheroes and spy thrillers and stuff. There haven't been any new ones in like 16 years.
Only James Bond does it nowadays.
Yeah, James Bond
has his
classic
stuff.
Well, you can say the Avengers movies has it.
Well, the Avengers does, Iron Man doesn't.
Credit songs.
Captain America doesn't. Ant-Man doesn't have a theme. Thor doesn't have a theme. None of them have their individual musical themes to hum like you did back in the day. And that's a travesty because there are great composers out there, and I mean that's kind of like sort of the first alarm of the fire. First fire alarm is like, oh yeah, they're not making these characters kind of like how they've been for 50 years. And to your point, Chris, with regards to the credits being so long, I mean, all the classic films, when they started out, their opening credits were like 3 or 4 minutes.
Right.
You have to include all the animators now.
Right.
In
so if I could interject, but I think they, with Indian film cinema, they have that interval down. It's real fantastic. So it's almost like at that same 1 hour and 20 minutes. Because you're going to get another an hour and 10 minutes after the fact. I think that with that intermission, you can do 2 things. You can play music from the soundtrack with the countdown, and then the theater can make more money off popcorn. A lot of them benefit. Plus, people that are getting up there in age, like myself, we appreciate that well-timed potty break.
Well, and let's be honest here. No comedy should be longer than 90 minutes. No comedy.
Not comedy. No way.
Right? I mean, there shouldn't be a 2.5 hour comedy.
Well, I also think that like people don't have the kind of patience now to sit through it. I feel like a 3-hour movie, you need to earn the running time. For me, RRR earned the running time.
Yeah,
it earned it. Babylon did not. Avatar, I feel like you could have definitely cut it down. Like all of these, I don't know that other than RRR, I haven't seen a movie that's 3 hours that I felt like it earned it. We've got some super chats here and some other comments and questions. If anyone needs to run, just let me know.
Gore, I'm gonna peace out right now. Thank you for having me on. Merry Christmas, everybody.
But I'm not done arguing with you.
We're gonna save it for another stream because trust me, that could go 3 hours on its own.
All right, subscribe to Midnight Movie Talk. Erick, he streams at midnight or 9 p.m. Pacific time a couple times a week. Check out. I'm always trolling him in the chat.
Yes, you are.
I'm always trolling Erick because it's fun to do.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah,
good job,
there
Erick.
you go.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care, Erick. Have a great holiday.
Be good.
Love you, man.
Also, I gotta take off.
You gotta run.
Yeah.
Verbal Riot.
All right.
But anyway, guys, actually, you can find me now on social media under Verbal Riot Show instead of Cancel Dante. I just wanted to make everything linear. So you can find me there. Obviously, sub to my channel if you get a chance. Check out the videos, that whole deal. So
cool. All right. Take care, Dante. Hey. Have a great holiday.
You too, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Let's talk about Empire Strikes Back.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay,
next show we will be talking about that.
Bobby's birthday is coming up, and I think we might need to make a something. Trip.
And Mexican Iron Man is in town now.
Mexican Iron Man is in town. Okay, then we got to get together.
In January.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Take care, Dante.
Bye, Dante.
Happy holidays.
Oh, bye. Okay.
Cool. All right. I'm going to go through some of these super chats and a lot of questions and comments. And wait. Someone says I can't find Mystery Chris's YouTube channel. Says The Sound of One Man Laughing. Mystery Chris, where can people find you?
I am on Deprogram with Carrie Smith's channel. So every Wednesday night we do a pop culture show.
Cool. Yeah, Deprogrammed with Carrie Smith is the show that Mystery Chris is on. You can also follow Mystery Chris at MC Mystery Chris. So check that out. Let's see. Immortal Remus for £4.49 says screenings of Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey at the Prince Charles Cinema in London has 10-minute intermissions. Brilliant. I mean, that movie's not 3 hours, but there's like an organic place for an intermission for that film, and it's perfectly placed. I remember seeing intermissions like in theaters. I mean, when I was a kid, they had them.
Honestly, the only time I had an intermission was Gone with the Wind.
I think Magnolia needed an intermission but didn't have one. Gandhi had an intermission. That was the 80s.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, they don't do intermissions, and I don't know. There's no reason not to have one. You can even play stuff like here's the intermission. Have RRR did it perfect. You got 5 minutes. Here's the timer. Take care of your business. Come back. But I never. I mean, with Babylon, I went twice.
Was I on mute? Yeah. Didn't I just say that like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, but you made a great point in the sense that movie theaters can make more money with
Chris has it out for me, man. I thought this was a Christmas stream.
I don't have it out for you.
Merry Christmas, Paulie.
Merry Christmas, jerk.
Comic Construct with Sean Z for $9.99 says, I think you could have 3 to 4 movies, but that's what extended release versions used to be for. But as long as the movie flows well and the story grasps the audience, as Alan told me before, good is good. Yeah.
Story trumps everything. Sorry.
All you can say is this: go see Babylon and decide for yourself. I would never just. This is why I actually like diversity of opinions, or I like different opinions. It's like, just like. You are ultimately going to decide what's right for you, check with your doctor. No, like Puss in Boots. Alan and I saw Puss in Boots. I have no idea, probably because nothing else was open.
Yeah.
We both saw it. I thought it was going to be maybe a more adult, like the Shrek films. Like the Shrek films kind of work on 2 levels for adults and kids. This was not that. It was more for kids. And it was fine and inoffensive.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a little bland for me. Nothing really memorable to really walk away from.
It looked pretty ordinary.
Yeah, that one is like you can wait for streaming, or if you've got young kids, they'll love it. Wired says the Hans Zimmer Man of Steel theme is one of my favorite scores. Not necessarily a fan of the movie, and I'm not really a Hans Zimmer stan either. I just love that score. Great music to run to. Yeah, that's a good workout score.
It's okay, but in my opinion, Hans Zimmer needs to change his tune.
Right.
It's been the same thing for like 15 years.
The thing is, John Williams was great about that, giving characters their own theme, a memorable theme. And I don't know anyone who's really come to take that mantle from him. And it feels
Alan
like
Silvestri gets close. You know, the guy who did Back to the Future, Judge Dredd, the Avengers theme. He's come close, but he hasn't done that. Jerry Goldsmith is also pretty close, and I think his son is continuing. Yeah, I'm not mistaken.
There's very few John Williams is really the only one that people can hum along and know exactly what you're talking about, and to have that volume, to be prolific at it, and again, I don't think anyone's really come close to be able to do that on a consistent basis.
Lubitsch Touch Me says intermissions were a challenge when projecting film, but with digital there is no excuse.
That's exactly right. Films were 90 minutes long because film cost money, and now that you're digital, that expense is gone.
I will say the story structure allows for an intermission in every movie, whether 90 or 2 hours. It works. It's right there. Sorry to interrupt, Chris.
Oh no. So I just want to get through these. We have a lot of questions based on things.
Quick thing about intermissions, really quick. Yeah. I did happen to see some Indian films in different theaters in different states just from traveling this year. And they all had intermissions, and it works really well, man. The families go out together, all that stuff. Then remember, Chris, some theaters in LA didn't have the intermission for certain Indian films, and some did.
It's frustrating. Chief Brody says, convinced that someone in this live stream is Overlord DVD. Lord Thoth, I love that this wasn't an echo chamber and everyone found a safe space to speak their minds and opinions. Outstanding talk. Well, I like that. I mean, part of the joy of talking about film art is a lot of it is subjective. You know, we can both see the same movie and walk away with a different opinion. And I think that also translates to a lot of different things. So I just like the conversation. So there you go. Ryan Landis says, I doubt that theaters like 3-hour movies. They want more showings per day. Time is money. You're correct.
Yeah, right.
Let's make this stream longer than Babylon. Why not?
You're getting there.
Dark Jedi Knight says, 1, scrap the Disney sequels. 2, make George Lucas's real sequels. 3, Rogue One Andor team to write all future Star Wars streaming shows. 4, have the Film Threat team as the official production team.
Ooh,
I like this. You should become a studio executive and then make all that happen.
No, they only have to say it. Someone else has to make it. That's how a studio executive works.
Yeah. Ryan Landis, don't forget to wear a movie diaper. 3 hours is long. Yeah, I felt that way when I saw Avatar again. I was just like, because I had eaten lunch, then we saw I think it was like a 2:00 showing, but because it was like 2 or 2:15, because of the trailers and everything else, I didn't get out of the movie till 6. I was all lightheaded. I was lightheaded because I just hadn't eaten in 6 hours. And I'm I was a little out of, it was not good. So I was
but popcorn. That being said, I try to feed you some of my, what was it? I had pretzel nachos and you wouldn't take any. So,
no, this was another time I saw it. Yeah,
okay.
It's true. Okay. That's right. We sat.
It wasn't that AMC pretzel, was it?
Yeah, with the
things are pretty gross.
I was so hungry, bro.
Oh my God. Binary Bard for 5 says, a soundtrack that is controversial amongst me and my friends is the Lady Hawk. I like it, but my friends think it clashes with the setting. Thoughts?
I don't remember much of it.
I know.
It's a Dick Donner film, but I don't remember much.
Well, Dick Donner's brilliant. Verisimilitude. Immortal Remus, geez, it sounds like modern Hollywood can't even get sex and nudity right.
Because they have intimacy coordinators now.
That's right. I don't even know how some of these scenes, in some of these scenes, people are just, it's simulated, obviously, but they're having, I would compare it to Eyes Wide Shut.
It wasn't sexy. It wasn't sexy at all.
It wasn't sexy. It was
even the golden shower wasn't sexy.
Exactly.
When is it
but
ever?
That's more elevated than being a Mexican drug lord in a television show. Sorry.
Exactly.
Paulie.
Sorry.
I mean, when he's walking through an orgy, you didn't feel like he could really act the hell
He's
out
so
of it.
above. Pinche fresa.
We'll talk after you see it, Paulie. I can't wait. Frank the Bunny 666, a Wookiee from Kashyyyk is living on Endor. That does not make sense.
That's the Chewbacca defense.
That's the Chewbacca defense.
He's just visiting.
Oh, put that down.
Visiting. Dave T. Geek.
I just beat Johnny Crockett. There you go.
Dave T. Geek, who's a member, thank you for that. The only defense of Disney Star Wars possible is I'm a normie, and it's fine for normies who just want to see space action with member berries. And then Ryan Landis says, Chris, any chance you can wear a wig like they do in British courts? I think that would be, we do want it to have like a sense of fun with this show we're going to do, but I don't want it to go too far where people don't take it seriously, because I actually want the debate to be serious. The context can be entertaining and fun and whatever. We've got a lot of big plans. Glanuccio, who knocked it out of the park with the new intro for the show, which you'll see one time. We should upload that just as a short. And the 3D thing we should upload as a short too. The 3D video that you recut, because now we can do that. We probably upload both of those, but we do want people to take the debate seriously. So I don't know if you want to be.
You can still wear a wig. Come on.
I'm not wearing a wig.
I like the wig ideas.
Yeah. No, I mean,
you gotta have like.
Paulie likes any idea.
To be serious.
Listen, you gotta have the glass, like the one eyeglass where you have like this. Now, sir, in defense of Gandhi, sir.
Clever Invective says, someone please call Kathleen Kennedy to testify and get Chrissy Mayer to play her.
Ooh.
That is a really good idea.
That's
Who wants to make that happen?
Her impersonations are really funny.
Oh my God, her Frost thing was just, sorry, it's too funny. Louis Grande says, I saw someone mention Kevin Smith. That is the correct defense expert. Present emotionally charged crying testimony. Yeah.
Can we get him?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to do it. Brock Samsonite, thanks to Anna de Armas, we can actually sue movie companies for misrepresentation of movies and trailers. And Disney is a big offender of this with stuff like Endgame. Immortal Remus for £8.99 says the Prince Charles Cinema has screenings a few times a year of cut of 2001 and 70 millimeter that Kubrick had always intended to show mainstream audiences originally, which is 170 minutes. Wow. So there you go. And Glanuccio says, Chris, well, sorry, doesn't put the Triscuit crackers in my mouth, does it, Paulie? There you go. I'm sorry. Glanuccio goes on to say, well, if you had told me you had delicious Triscuit crackers, I could have enjoyed them with you. So there you go.
What's going on here, Glanuccio?
Dave T. Geek. I was defending Disney. I would argue that it wasn't murder, but ending life support for being in a coma since the 90s. Oh, wow. There you go. Sorry. Wes says, please get someone who actually believes the defense position. I absolutely. Yeah. I have been hit up by friends who are like, I love the Star Wars sequels. I will defend Lucasfilm. There are plenty of people out there. I did a panel in 2018 called the Last Jedi Debate. And I had people on both sides. I had people who loved the sequels and loved The Last Jedi, and I had people who hated it. But the thing that bothered me, the reason I put that panel together is I didn't understand why people were being attacked for not liking it. Like, you know, I actually, you know, in retrospect, The Last Jedi is terrible. I thought The Last Jedi was a setup for a great conclusion. We all know that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It was the middle movie. I really despised The Force Awakens. And then Last Jedi came out. I'm like, oh, maybe something interesting is happening here. I even thought the Rise of Skywalker title was something to do with Luke coming back from the spirit world. I thought the Rise of Skywalker was referring to Luke, and it was going to be, you know, here you have a fall and then a rise, and that didn't happen. But that debate in 2018, I think it's on our channel, but only.
Yeah, I just posted a link to it.
It's only audio, I think, because I recorded it. Yeah. We did it at San Diego Comic-Con, and then we also did it at Dragon Con. So we did that panel twice. But both of them were packed rooms. Packed. Because the thing that concerned me was I had never seen this phenomenon, because I've been around the nerd world a long time. That's why they call me the Ancient One. But it's I never saw fans not be so angry at each other for not sharing an opinion that was apparently the correct opinion, that you're supposed to like The Last Jedi, and if you don't like The Last Jedi, you're a bad person. And I'm like, I've never seen this. Like, in the history of nerd culture, we disagree on a lot of things, and then we laugh, and then whatever. You like this movie better. The first Dune book is better. I like the fourth Dune book. God Emperor, whatever. We could sit there. I've had so many debates with friends in nerd culture, but I have never ever seen people be so divided as to like go after people for an opinion that they don't like a film or have a problem with it. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but like that's that. I've never seen that happen. It was weird. Couple final comments here. Bert has been a member for 5 months and says post panel photo of Anna, Dante, Alan, Chris, Paulie, Chris, and Gary from your LA Comic-Con panel was epic. Arena rock band vibes. Great thumbnail choice. Yeah. If you go to our community tab, I think I posted photos.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. Oh, good.
What was that? Where are we at with the views on that? It's pretty big.
It's like over 30,000. And then
great.
Paul Rouleau has been a member for 3 months and says Film Threat is the gift that keeps on giving. Well, thank you for that comment. I think that's going to about wrap it up. Unless I mean, any final thoughts? Final thoughts as we wrap up here and get to our holiday. Anybody?
I had a question real quick.
Please, Mr. Chris.
Did y'all see the Barbie trailer?
Yep.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's a teaser. It has nothing to do with the movie.
I don't think that scene will even be in the movie. I think it's a teaser.
Yeah, it was kind of derivative, but it was cleverly derivative, so to speak.
Yeah. I like that it's like referring to a movie no one has seen. Meaning the current generation that is the target audience for that movie, they don't even know that that's from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Right.
Most of the people cast in those scenes, like the little girls, have no idea it's from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah. So the target audience, I think that the Barbie movie is going to be substantially woke, but I hope it's woke in a funny way, like Mystery Chris's pitch for Black to the Future. So I hope it's that.
So you think Greta Gerwig is capable of doing that?
I don't know. She hasn't really made. She made comedies with that guy Joe, who did all the mumblecore stuff. That's kind of where she came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was weird. I have no issue with the trailer. The trailer is definitely not the movie for sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Cool. And look, Go Party Time says I like the teaser. So yeah, and Ryan Landis says, "Who is the Barbie movie for?" I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, but would it do to the lifetime Barbie fan what Star Wars is doing to the lifetime Star Wars fan?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just all tongue in cheek. Winter Soldier says it will be the most Gerwigian film ever. Greta Gerwig.
This is her first directorial debut, essentially. So
yeah,
did she do Little Women? Or
she did Little Women, right?
Yeah, I like.
She was in it, but she didn't direct it. Yeah.
And Go Party Time says Greta is capable of pulling it off. I actually think so, based on her career as an actress. She's done comedy.
Yep.
So I think that she just hasn't made. I think she's capable of it, and I've always liked her. I think she comes from indie, and that's
and
so
she knows how to talk to actors. That's a very valuable skill that some directors, when they come from indie, don't learn until many films later. So
she wrote and directed Little Women.
I am a fan of Greta Gerwig.
I actually like Little Women. That was a really good movie.
Yeah. And Lord Thoth says Lady Thoth is a lifetime Barbie collector, and she rolled her eyes at that Barbie movie trailer. She's not interested based on what she has seen from Hollywood lately. Well,
that's the fear. So
there you go. All right, we're gonna leave it at that. Well, it's just us guys, gentlemen. This has been the Film Threat Holiday Special. What's everybody doing for the holidays? And let's go around the horn. Plugs. Everyone, do your plugs.
Yeah, I'll start. My pal Al on Twitter, Film Threat Alan on Instagram, and then visit filmthreat.com for reviews. We are getting pushing our way through all the best picture reviews this week and next week.
Cool. All right. Script.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at ScriptDoctorPhD. I do have a YouTube channel that's kind of on hiatus at the moment at youtube.com/ScriptDoctor. And after I'm going to be doing a review show with Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge on his channel tomorrow of Gremlins. And then right after that, I'm on a train to go visit family members for the holidays. So it's going to be a crazy weekend. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever else you happen to celebrate at this particular time. Thanks so much for having me on today, Chris. It's been a blast.
It was a lot of fun. Paulie.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank Film Threat and the Film Threat Nation, the community, all you guys. I mean, I've been hanging out with you guys throughout the year. We've had some like landmark stuff happen. It's been a lot of fun. The Oscars, the panel, Gore, Alan, much love to you guys and to your families. So I just want to say that first of all. In about an hour, I'm going to release a great conversation. It's about 20 minutes long that we had at our holiday party with Nerdrotic. So before your FNT, come on by the Slant, because that was a really good talk, and it's about 20 minutes long. This weekend we're headed off to see Romy's family back in the East Coast, although we'll be in the lower part, so we're not traveling through Chicago, thank God.
Cool.
So everyone be safe.
All right, thank you, Paulie. Just been great, like, doing streams with you and just hanging out, and script, doing the streams on Monday, with Midnight's Edge in the morning. Always a blast. Mystery Chris, cannot thank you enough for trusting me to be on. I really just wanted to amplify what you're doing with Carrie, the deprogrammed. It's just, it's a funny way to look at really serious issues. And that pitch, the amount of work you put into that pitch, it's awesome. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. What do you want to plug or anything you got coming up?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on this program. I've been a big fan of you for a long time, so it's just great getting to talk to you and everyone else on the panel. So thank you. But yeah, you can find me on Carrie Smith's channel, Deprogram with Carrie Smith, and I'm also at MC Mystery Chris on Twitter. I have several more woke pitches for a bunch of other movies, so we're going to be doing that in the future. So I'm really excited. There's going to be some good ones coming up.
Oh my God! First of all, you have to let us know, and then if you want to come here, love to have you present. After you do it on the, I just like the more people that can find out about it. I swear there is a project in there. It could be a book, it could be a comic, it could be a short film. There's something to what you're doing, and I think you've got a great vision and a take. And just encourage you, please keep doing it, because I'm a fan. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to do something. So
and then can I offer the Latino Slant also too for your pitches? But you have to write it. You can't have any black characters in it. I really want it to be completely offensive to my Mexican and whatever people. I say have at it. No, man, he's already done Black in Time. I want Wolfosos in Time,
I already got a movie in mind.
Oh, that's good. And I just want to say thank you to Glanuccio, our producer. Glanuccio, have a safe Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. And to everyone watching, especially our members, thank you so much. Those who participate in the chat, thank you. It's been a big year. We're almost 64,000 subs. 64,000 closing in. We appreciate it.
Amazing.
We'll be back next week. Alan and I may be around. So if you're hanging out during the holidays, you want to check out a chill stream, I'm going to be signing copies of Film Threat magazine and some books that I read. A fan sent me a big box of mags, so I'm going to be signing them live and telling stories. It's going to be a chill stream. Have a safe holiday. Safe travels, everyone. Really appreciate all of you. And there you go. There's not much else to say except I really appreciate you guys. Okay, let's take us out. Alan, what's the last thing you have to say?
Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.